free fentanyl.
Do I?
Do you, let me just add one thing here. Do you remember the old Saturday Night Live routine where Dan Aykroyd played the guy from the Dangerous Toy Company, Erwin Mainway? This is Tawala right here.
Hold on a minute, sister. We'll make a teddy bear. I got one right here. This right here, it's got a nice little feature here. You can see and take a shot of it. Now hold it up here. We call it Teddy Chainsaw Bear.
Teddy Chainsaw.
That is Teddy Chainsaw Bear. See?
Tawala Chainsaw. He'll defend anything.
I'm not defending
Your teddy bears with chainsaws.
You are.
I am literally defending an innocent company that is trying to expand and make California better.
It was
And I don't
free
think-
fentanyl. That's what I want to do.
Do I?
I want to give them free fentanyl.
You defend everything.
I do not defend everything. I'm not defending the use of fentanyl for the homeless.
You might as well.
Do I?
You are the Erwin Mainway of KFI.
Do I?
You people are on the wrong side.
You people?
You people?
You people?
Do I?
You're on the
Dude,
wrong
what?
side of progress.
It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. Live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Don't forget, we will be giving away 2 pairs of Renaissance Pleasure Fair tickets tonight. So you better watch our YouTube stream at Mr. Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640 now. Mark Ronner has the news.
You sure it's not our You People stream?
Do I?
Here's the latest from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. 3 guys busted for a deadly home invasion and a hunger strike at a college. We'll give you details at the bottom of the hour. Right now, SoCal weather mostly clear tonight with lows in the low 50s, mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 70s. This report brought to you by OPOLaw.com, and we're headed to a crash on the 210 in Arcadia.
That's heading eastbound just before Santa Anita Avenue. It looks like it's just been moved out of the right lane to the right shoulder. Traffic has recovered. And as you make your way southbound on the 5 in Commerce, you'll see some slowing just after the 710, and it's slowing in pockets from there until you reach the 605. Still got a crash on the 57 northbound in Diamond Bar. That's right at Pathfinder Road. Motorcycle involved there, so it has the carpool and 2 left lanes blocked. Your drive jams up at Tonner Canyon. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
I'm Susan Owen, managing partner of OPO Law. When it comes to vehicle injury cases, we bring nearly 50 years of expertise to the table, something no other firm can match. We fight relentlessly. If you've been injured in a vehicle accident, OPOLaw.com.
This report is sponsored by Lear Capital.
Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver Report and Precious Metals IRA guide at betternestegg.com. Don't leave your future to chance. Go to betternestegg.com.
If Trump is below 40%.
What do you think Kennedy's was at 100 days? What was Kennedy's approval rating?
48%.
Wrong.
32.
Wrong.
Well,
Wrong.
76.
Close. 83.
I feel like you can't compare.
You can't.
Gary and Shannon.
Part of what has changed between Kennedy and Trump, people are a lot more comfortable criticizing the president vocally.
Tomorrow morning, 9 to 1 p.m. on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, David Guetta, Meghan Trainor, and more. Wingo Tango presented by Fiji Airways. May 10th, Huntington City Beach. All ticket prices go up May 2nd, so get yours now at AXS.com.
Get big summer flavor in every bite with the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Featuring new mixing bowl mashup, fan-voted s'mores, and more. For a limited time, right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. At participating locations.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now. Like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles.
Together, you say goodbye, and I say hello.
Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Listen commercial-free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Beatles Now and Then, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet. Reduce your impact on the environment this fall by packing a waste-free lunch for school or work. Avoid foods with excessive packaging. Use reusable cutlery, napkins, cups, bags, and containers, and recycle or compost any waste when possible. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth. Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways children of all ages can learn about sustainability and the environment at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
KFI has you covered.
The LAPD has released images of a guy suspected of sexually assaulting a woman on an MTA bus.
The union says it will be the first strike of its kind in LA County. It includes librarians, folks who work at non-urgent health clinics, some wildfire cleanup workers, trash collectors, and homeless camp enforcement.
KFI is on it.
The Catholic Church is being criticized for sending a cardinal from LA who is accused of covering up sexual abuse by priests to the funeral services of Pope Francis.
Make KFI AM 640 your number one preset for breaking news in Southern California. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Tomorrow, 2 o'clock on the John Cobelt Show, the mayor of Lancaster, Rex Parris, is coming on. His solution for homelessness, give him free fentanyl. Yeah, Rex Parris, mayor of Lancaster, tomorrow at 2 on the John Cobelt Show.
KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. No, I'm serious.
Do what?
Yeah, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. Still want to let you know we're going to be giving away tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. I think we'll do it at the end of this hour and maybe later in the show. But we're going to be giving away tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, and the tickets will be good all the way through May 11th. Now, let's talk about these thousands of union workers, which actually have gone on strike starting today. It's a limited strike. You may wonder, is it going to impact me? Is it going to impact my family? Is it going to impact my kids? Well, maybe if you're like me, when I was out of work, and this was many, many years ago before I came to KFI, I spent most of my days in libraries, LA County Public Libraries. Why? Because they had free Wi-Fi. Internet access. There are a lot of things that you can do at a library that people don't really know about. Let's say you need to get your resume printed out. Let's say you needed a workspace. Libraries are perfect for that. But they will be impacted by this strike, this limited union workers strike, which is going on now through Wednesday.
We're live out here outside of the Carson Library. This is one of literally hundreds of places run by LA County that could be impacted by this. So the strike starts at 7 o'clock tonight, goes all the
In other words, it's already started. It's just now underway.
So the strike starts at 7 o'clock tonight, goes all the way until 6:59 on Wednesday night. LA County says it does anticipate its libraries to operate with reduced resources. And at some locations, it's possible the library will be closed altogether. That means many families and community members who use them for Wi-Fi and to get essential social services may not get that help until after the strike ends.
I wonder how effective any limited strike could be, especially when it's close-ended. It starts Monday night, maybe ends Wednesday night. I don't know how much leverage you can exert. I know you don't want to disrupt too many things, and I get that. You don't want the public libraries closed indefinitely. But I do wonder whether you're making your strike more ineffective by saying in advance. We had talked about this with the school strikes. Whether your strike would be more ineffective by saying, hey, we're only striking until 2 days from now.
Beach and harbors in LA County will be impacted too, and that does include Malibu, where wildfire debris cleanup on beaches may be paused during the strike. LA County says beach restrooms may be closed, and maintenance on county beaches and in Marina del Rey may be stopped too. Now on your screen are more county services that could be shut down Tuesday and Wednesday altogether.
Now, this is the real important part, and this probably impacts more Angelenos than any other location or service.
Or run on a reduced schedule with less staff. That includes a lot of different things, from non-urgent health clinics to school-based wellness centers at 47 middle and high schools, substance use help centers, and the auditor controller's office. And public works, things like issues with trash or encampments, will be delayed as well. Of course, this isn't the first time the SEIU union members have walked off the job in what they call an unfair labor practice strike in LA County. The county does say it's going to try its best to maintain essential services, but so many who live and work here will feel the ripple effects of this strike over the next few days. And looking ahead to tomorrow morning, we're told that thousands of those workers will march through downtown LA to make their voices heard.
Okay, make your voices heard. What is it I'm going to say about that? Make your voices heard. Did you notice through that whole news piece, there was not any information on what SEIU specifically was asking for? Did you notice that? The reason I played the whole clip was to highlight that we'll find out some of the things which are going to be closed, which are going to be reduced staff, how it may be impacting you, but there was nothing in it specifically about SEIU. They said unfair labor practices. What does that mean? I always highlight this because I try to show you the wrong way and the really wrong way to go about protesting. They're protesting tomorrow, and I'm not sure you or me, neither of us knows exactly what SEIU is asking for, demanding what's needed to be improved, anything. That already tells you that the strike is not off to a good start. You should have someone out front who was saying or sending out some sort of boilerplate message to all media. We're going out on strike. This is what you need to highlight in your news reports. We want this, we want that, we want the other. And if you don't do that, which goes back to the idea of a whole limited strike, you are wasting valuable time saying that you're going to strike on Monday and Tuesday or Tuesday and Wednesday and not hammer everybody with what you want. I'm sitting here on KFI, the number one news talk station in America, the most streamed station on iHeartRadio, and I have no freaking idea in any specificity what SEIU is asking for. And that's not my fault. That's the fault of the protest planners, because you have to get the easy ones right. If you want your protest to actually make a difference, then you have to actually make sure the news media, the general public knows what you're asking for and why. Why is it that this is so actually unfair? Why is it that you want the greater Los Angeles area to listen to you, to hear your grievances? Oh, I forgot, Twala. I can't hear their grievances because no one's talking about their grievances. They should have made that. Okay, for those who don't know, and Mark, you know about this, the Associated Press, you'll see the same story in about 7 or 8 different outlets because they're taking the story from a wire service. So it'll look almost exactly the same. Maybe even say, probably have like the Associated Press contributed to this article. As you send out your information about the protests to the Associated Press or local media, you make sure it's included in there. So every single story, be it in print, on radio, because we're getting a lot of our information from print news media sources, be it City News Service or Associated Press, whatever. All that information is there. So when we talk about the story, wait for it, it's included in everything we do. But I just gave you a 2-minute news story, and there was not a damn thing about what SEIU is waiting for. What are they asking for? What is it they need to change? What needs to be improved? I couldn't tell you. I desperately want to tell you, but I can't because it's not there. I know when they're striking. I know it's going to begin and when it's going to end. But I can't tell you in between, oh, they said they're actually going to be out there on the picket lines tomorrow morning. Asking for what? I don't know. I would really like to know. But why is it incumbent upon me to go research all this information and dig when you want me to talk about what's wrong in all of these jobs? Oh, yeah, I can assume it has to do with pay. Yeah, I know that, but maybe it has to do with vacation. Maybe it has to do with some sort of benefits. Maybe it has to do with, I don't know, number of hours that you can work in a given week. I have no idea because no one has done just the basic stuff to help a limited protest be successful. These are the simple things. Because what happens is tomorrow rolls around and still nobody knows. Nobody knows. I follow this every single day. In fact, I was watching this story the whole day. I was wondering, are they going to put in here the specifics? Are they going to put in here the ask? It's I always call it. What is it you're asking for? It's unfair labor practices. Well, tell me something specifically, because if you want the general society to be supportive and also emotionally on your side, you have to tell us exactly what it is. You can't show us just walking in circles holding up a picket sign. You got to tell us exactly what it is. That's the whole point of public protesting. So the general public sees what you're fighting for, what you're asking for. Mark, do you know what the protest is about?
They are protesting the county failing to fairly negotiate a new labor contract. And we've got the union accuses and this is from the wire service that you just mentioned. The union accuses Los Angeles County management of refusing to bargain with union members in good faith, and they allege retaliation and surveillance of union members. That's a start.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mark. I just got to jump in real quick.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
I still don't know what they want.
Right.
like I hear that, and if that's the reason that they're going out, are you missing the ... and we are going to protest and go on strike to get this, that, or the other corrected? Do we have anything like that yet?
Here's a little more. The union claims the county's proposal was a 0% increase for cost of living and alleges the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors was able to spend $205 million on a downtown skyscraper for new office space.
We talked about that.
While maintaining there's no money for frontline staff.
Okay. We're getting a little more information.
So it's money. We're getting that. So it's money? Or do they?
It's always money.
It's always follow the money.
Yeah,
but do they want space in the new office tower? I'm trying to figure out, what do they want? Are they like, you guys got this new office tower and we have no office space? What do they want? Because if they want money, they should put an ask out there so we as the public can say, hey, that's not that much.
In other words, we want $45 an hour for this, that, and the other positions. But we're being told by the unions there's no money because of that downtown skyscraper. I know that they're against the downtown skyscraper. I remember we covered that story. But I don't know exactly what they're asking for. And if we have to, between the three of us, dig through all this media and hopefully to get some semblance of what they're asking for, then they're not protesting correctly.
It really should be something that could fit on a protest sign. Make it simple.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to agree with you, but it should be something that you can make into a slogan that's easily repeatable. Preferably that rhymes.
Right.
Yeah.
$25 an hour now.
That doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme, but it fits on a sign.
Yeah.
Stop the tower, $25
an hour. There it is.
There you go.
Bust the deal and face the wheel. I'm sorry, that's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Limericks are good too. If you could get a limerick on a sign, I'd like that.
The Once with a Man from Nantucket.
Not that one.
It's later with Mo Kelly. Can't buy AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. When we come back, we have a Metro update, and KFI's own Michael Monks will join us. Now, Mark Ronner with the news.
3 men have been arrested in connection with a deadly home invasion in Woodland Hills. The break-in happened early Saturday morning.
Police say the homeowner was held captive, assaulted, and suffered a head injury, then died at the scene. The suspects escaped with the victim's property.
KFI's Daniel Martindale says the arrests were made in Glendale and Sherman Oaks. The accused killers are being held on $2 million bail. Some students at Occidental College are on a hunger strike.
The 10 students are demanding the school divest from weapons manufacturers tied to Israel and bolster protections for international students. The strike, now in its second week, follows a similar protest at Chapman University. Occidental's president says many students' concerns are already being addressed, but rejected calls for divestment. The students say the college isn't doing enough and vow to continue, citing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
Canadians are at the polls today voting on whether to extend the Liberal Party's decade in power or hand control to the Conservatives. They'll pick new Prime Minister Mark Carney or populist opposition leader Pierre Poilievre. The U.S. Navy says fighter jets rolled off an aircraft carrier and into the Red Sea. ABC's Stephen Portnoy says it happened off the coast of Yemen.
The incident occurred as the $70 million jet was being towed from the hangar bay of the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman. 2 crew members, one on board the FA-18 and another inside the tractor, jumped out in time.
Officials say one sailor was hurt but not seriously. And House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries has criticized Republicans in the House. His main focus of attack is health care and how the Trump administration wants to change it.
Health care is under assault by Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the administration, and rubber stamp Republicans in the House and in the Senate.
He says they want to take health care away from the American people. Southland weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight, lows in the low 50s, 40 in the AV and IE. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 70s, upper 70s in the valleys, IE and AV, and upper 60s at the beaches. And it should look like that the rest of this week. Right now it is 63 in La Palma, 61 in Yorba Linda, and we're heading to a crash on the 5 in Anaheim.
That's heading northbound just before Lincoln Avenue. It's taking up the left lane. It's slowing you down, backed up to about Harbor Boulevard. And as you travel on the 57 northbound in Diamond Bar, right at Pathfinder Road, still got a motorcycle crash there that has the carpool and left lane blocked. You're seeing delays backed up to about Brea Canyon. And in the Sepulveda Pass, the 405 northbound, right at Skirball Center Drive, stalled car there, stuck in the second lane from the left. You'll see traffic backed up to about Moraga Drive. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
As you have now heard, the hantavirus caused by the urine and feces of rodents can lead to serious illness and even death. If you suspect you have a rodent issue, call the experts at Rodent Stop. For a one-time fee, Rodent Stop will identify and seal all rodent entry points, trap and remove all rodents, sanitize your attic to remove any nasty viruses, and we even remove and replace all rodent-infested attic insulation. Rodent Stop is so confident that they can stop your rodent problems that they also back up their work with a lifetime guarantee. If you hear the pitter-patter of little feet in your attic, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343. We're dedicated to providing fast, friendly, and effective rodent control solutions throughout Southern California. Plus, our technicians are clean, friendly, and always on time. If you've got rodents, call Rodent Stop for a free inspection at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343.
This Mother's Day, you could raise a toast to the woman who did everything for you. Or you could toast her with a cocktail made from her very own Bartesian.
To Mom.
The sleek cocktail maker crafts premium drinks at the touch of a button. With over 60 cocktails to choose from, including classics like Cosmos, margaritas, and old fashions. Plus trendy options like the strawberry guava margarita, she can enjoy her favorites anytime. Bartesian uses real ingredients, no artificial colors or flavors, just real fruit juices, premium extracts, and bitters. And with the ability to make each drink as strong or as light as she likes, using her favorite spirits, it's always mixed to perfection. No mess, no hassle, no measuring. Just premium cocktails in under 30 seconds. So give Mom Bartesian. Give Mom cocktails on demand. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartesian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom.
And here we have a specimen from the early 2000s, a legacy investing platform. Please don't touch the exhibit, folks. It could crash.
Ready to step out of the financial history museum? At public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You can even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. But the real game changer? Public was designed this century. The experience is clean, intuitive, and just makes sense. Look, if you're still on one of those legacy platforms, we get it. Change is hard, but so is building your wealth on outdated tech. Discover why NerdWallet gave Public 5 stars for its ease of use and investment selection. And leave your clunky, outdated platform behind. Go to public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. They'll even give you up to $10,000 when you transfer your investments. Only at public.com. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at public.com/disclosures.
Ozempic, but in a pill, is now available from Future Health.
Future Health Weight Loss.
American Vision Windows now offering 25% off windows and doors for April. AmericanVisionWindows.com.
KFI has you covered.
The LAPD has released images of a guy suspected of sexually assaulting a woman on an MTA bus.
The union says it will be the first strike of its kind in LA County. It includes librarians, folks who work at non-urgent health clinics, some wildfire cleanup workers, trash collectors, and homeless camp enforcement.
KFI is on it.
The Catholic Church is being criticized for sending a cardinal from LA who is accused of covering up sexual abuse by priests to the funeral services of Pope Francis.
Make KFI AM 640 your number one preset for breaking news in Southern California. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Oh, later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We have some Metro updates, one very concerning, one possibly promising. And joining us to help sort it out is KFI's own Michael Monks. Michael, it's good to talk to you. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, Mo. Always a pleasure to join you.
I have to wonder, let's start with the somewhat good news. LA Metro is going to roll out concealed weapons screening in Norwalk. What do you know from your conversations with the people at Metro? Because they won't talk to me, and I'll give you my thoughts about it.
Well, here's what we know. They started this weapons detection pilot program last year in the wake of all of that violence, including a murder that took place on the system. They started it at Union Station and also at the APU Citrus Station in Azusa on the A line. They say it's been very successful, that it has detected just about every single weapon that it could possibly try to make its way through any of those screening devices that they've put up there. So the idea now is that they will expand the program. It is now gotten to Norwalk on the C line. And that's where Metro officials were today to celebrate the expansion of this program. Now, it is a slow rollout. They are going to add this at other key targeted strategic high traffic stations, but we don't know when or where yet. Right now, we basically have tried it at Union Station, in Azusa, and now in Norwalk.
Why is it that it needs to be rolled out? I think of this as like a metal detector of sorts. You can find out if someone's carrying a weapon. Let's kind of run with this. You know, rolling it out one station at a time seems counterintuitive when we're talking about safety. It doesn't seem like it's overly high tech. It seems like just a metal detector. Why the slow rollout?
It is an expensive endeavor, and it's one that they wanted to test to make sure that it works before they put it across the system. But I know from covering local government in Los Angeles, whether it be the city council, the board of supervisors, or Metro or others, things move really slowly here. I talk about this a lot when I'm on shows like yours, is that there just seems to be a lack of urgency with all of the problems. And goodness knows we face a lot of problems here. The fiscal crises at the city building or the county building and the safety concerns on Metro. It just takes too long to do anything around here. The irony, and I think you were hinting at some bad news, is they were celebrating the expansion of this program a day after a woman was sexually assaulted at knife point on a Metro bus. And that is, that's irony, tragic, but also irony.
There's something and I was hoping you could explain it for me, because this alleged sexual assault in some published reports I'm reading happened April 12th, but we're only hearing about it near the end of the month. Number one, that says to me that there's a lot probably happening at Metro on buses, on platforms, on subway cars that is not being immediately reported, which that concerns me. And also that this investigation wasn't disclosed to the public in a timely fashion.
That's right. And you're right. I misspoke. This act took place on April 12th, the alleged act. The LAPD put out the news release about it today with images of the suspect. This is a guy who apparently got on a bus and sat down next to a woman and started to talk her up, apparently, according to the police, and then pulled a knife and sexually assaulted her. No details on what exactly went down. And I only reference that because we don't know how many people were on the bus. What was going on? Was there like some behind the chair groping, which is of course a crime, or was the bus empty and the bus driver didn't stop or do anything, and something more elaborate was taking place? It was a pretty shocking release from the LAPD, especially the fact that it came out hours after the news conference announcing this expanded weapons detection program in Norwalk, because that weapons detection program is not available on the buses at all.
And that's basically leading me to my next question. The weapons detection is fine, but it seems to be rather limited, because you and I, since we've ridden Metro, we know that the weapons detection system, I saw a picture of it on KTLA, doesn't seem feasible for buses the way it's presently constructed, doesn't seem feasible for many of the open air platforms which are common with Metro. What say you?
I say that you're correct. It's the weapons detection sensors that they've placed at Norwalk are like pillars that maybe go up to your elbow or your shoulders, depending on your height. And you walk through those and they'll beep, and there's, security there. Really what you have to have at all of the stations, on all of the trains, and on all of the buses, unfortunately, is some security figure.
Thank you.
And that's the only thing that's going to work right now. What we can't solve in Los Angeles today is just the vibes, and they're bad. You've got to have somebody on there whose presence will discourage the antisocial behavior or the criminality that takes place on the system. And what irritates me so much about this, Mo, not just as a news guy, but as a resident of this city and this county, is sitting in traffic and knowing that we've got a pretty good alternative. I mean, Metro is a pretty good, I say this to you a lot, it's good on paper, isn't it?
Yeah, at its best.
It's on paper, it's a good thing. I can get up to that station where you are right now when I'm coming into work in about 40 minutes and not have to worry about the traffic while I'm doing it. If only you could guarantee that it was going to be a relatively pleasant experience. I wouldn't mind standing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a stranger even talking to me a little bit, but to have somebody doing drugs or smoking cigarettes or playing loud music, those are the best of the worst things that happen on the bus or the train. The worst things are really terrifying, and they're the types of things that will keep people away from the system permanently.
Michael Monks, thank you as always. Please give my regards to Metro. They seem like they don't want to talk to me. I've asked for them to come on the show, but for whatever reasons, they're not accepting the invitation. So please reach out to them.
Maybe you could wrap one of the buses. We could do the Mo line. We could get some Mo Kelly promotion on the side of one of these buses, and once you're a paying customer, they might like you a lot.
Hells no. Hells no. Talk to you soon, Michael.
You got it.
It's later with Mo Kelly. We're going to talk about Cowboy Carter, the Beyoncé tour, which is kicking off. Actually, it's underway right now at SoFi Stadium. And from what I hear, someone connected to the staff will be at that concert, or is at that concert. I'm not even sure. We'll find out in just a moment. Now let's go to Mark Ronner in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. County workers are on strike and renters rally in Sacramento. And we're just getting news that Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberals have won the election in Canada, according to the CBC. We'll have more details on that at the top of the hour. Right now, SoCal weather mostly clear tonight with lows in the low 50s, mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 70s. This report brought to you by Robert Half. And from the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, save more at the pump with Toyota's full lineup of fuel-efficient vehicles. Some's not moving on the 10 in downtown L.A.
That's heading eastbound just before the 110. It's a stall that's stuck in the right lane. It's slowing you down backed up to about Vermont Avenue. And some good news. Diamond Bar 57 northbound right at Pathfinder. A crash there involving a motorcycle has been cleared out of the carpool and 2 left lanes. Traffic slowly recovering as you make your way from Brea Canyon. The 5 northbound in Anaheim right before Lincoln. Crash there is still blocking the left lane, slowing you down from Harbor Boulevard. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
The government doesn't have the right to take a private university and tell a private university what programs it can have, what programs it must eliminate, what teachers must be hired or not hired. Explain to me, what is a left-leaning teacher?
Bill Handel.
I don't know where that line is, do you?
Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Associate Management Consultant, Los Angeles, California. Assist in managing projects to improve business processes, ensuring timely completion within budget constraints. Evaluate vendor relationships for potential cost-saving opportunities. Assess the risk associated with potential investments or business ventures while recommending appropriate mitigating strategies. Prepare comprehensive financial reports offering key stakeholders valuable data for informed decision-making. Assist in maintaining a budget. Requirements: minimum 5 years of experience as a management consultant or in a directly related field or equivalent. equivalent. Salary range from $135,000 to $142,000 per year. Send resume attention Endine Incorporated S. Gafurian, Chief Executive Officer at 4109 West 59th Place, Los Angeles, California 90043. Or via email at s-gafurian@endineinc.com. Again, at 4109 West 59th Place, Los Angeles, California 90043. Or via email at s-gafurian@endineinc.com.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, David Guetta, Meghan Trainor, and more. Wingo Tango presented by Fiji Airways. May 10th, Huntington City Beach. All ticket prices go up May 2nd, so get yours now at AXS.com.
Ty Pennington here, teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga to earn drawing entries. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show.
Don't throw them away. I know they're collecting dust. You haven't used them in a while. There's hundreds of them, but don't throw them away.
That's coming up tomorrow at 9:50 on Gary and Shannon.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. If I remember correctly, Beyoncé was not here, as in Inglewood, LA, not too long ago. I thought that was like the Renaissance tour where tickets were like $2,000 or something ridiculous. And now she's back. She's performing, presumably right now. I don't know if there's anyone open for her, but the concert was supposed to start at SoFi.
No, we got the concert up and running right now on the YouTube stream.
Oh, wow.
That's a live feed from the concert.
Oh, wow. What are those, empty seats?
Hey.
Oh, no, because I heard as of 5 o'clock. No, that wasn't a joke. I'm being serious. I'm looking at what I'm looking at. And I was under the impression that there were still seats available, which was going to my original point that maybe Beyoncé has had a bit of overexposure in LA because she's been doing so much here in the city. Like, put it this way, if you spent thousands of dollars like you and your family did, Tuwala, for your daughter to see the Renaissance tour, and she's back in a year, are you going to spend the same amount of money?
Well,
Well,
okay, look.
What?
Okay, look. My daughter is going. Okay, but Thursday is her birthday, and she really wants to see, the Cowboy Carter tour.
Is there anything you tell her no?
Look, man, she's only gonna be, our daughter and our baby for
the rest of your life.
Look, man. She deserves it. She is a very, 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 very good child.
No judgment. No judgment.
Look, I'm just saying.
She's an expensive child.
Yeah. She is, but she doesn't ask for like anything else in between.
Oh, you're one of those parents like, all right, if I get you this, don't ask me for anything else. That's the way my mom did.
Look, Beyonce just happened to come at a time. It was like right on her, the show was right on top of her birthday. Now that does not count her going to go and see Billie Eilish this summer. That's
where is she going to see Billie Eilish?
That's in London. That's in London. Okay, so she's going to London.
Y'all hear
to
this?
See Billie Eilish.
Y'all watching this on YouTube, right? At Mr. Mo Kelly.
No.
His daughter is going to see. Went to see Beyonce Renaissance.
Yes.
Saw Taylor Swift.
Yes, saw Taylor
More
Swift.
than once, right?
No, just saw Taylor Swift. Just that one time because those tickets were way, way too expensive.
Okay, is this where that Waymo money's going?
Clearly.
Okay.
Because he can't afford this on a radio salary and a teaching salary.
Okay, look. There are sacrifices that are made
by you, not her.
Look, well, okay, look, man, she loves these people.
Okay, I missed my point. She went to see Renaissance tour.
Yes, she did.
saw Taylor Swift Eras.
Yep.
Okay, she went to both of their movies, right?
She did, yes, of course.
Okay, she's going to see Billie Eilish in London.
In London.
And I've been to London, I don't know when. Okay, and now she's going to see Beyonce Thursday at SoFi.
At SoFi, yes.
When was the last time you told her no to something like this?
Oh, to something like this? Yeah. I don't know, but just the other day she asked if she could do something, and I said no. Do something. Oh, no, because last night she wanted to go and see Sinners again, and I was like, nope, it's not gonna be able to happen because I had been driving all around.
You said no to a movie for the third time.
No, because I had been driving around too much. I was too much driving.
That's the line, y'all. That's the bridge too far.
No,
a movie. Can I go to London to watch Billie Eilish? Okay. Can I see Beyonce Cowboy Carter? Okay. What about Sinners for the third time? Hell no. Hell no.
Daddy, can I have a Fabergé egg? Yeah, but I'm not driving you to the movies.
Hi.
Okay. Look,
gas doesn't grow on trees.
It doesn't. It was a long drive. I couldn't do it. Okay, I couldn't do it. But I'm very happy that she is able to see Beyonce and that tickets are for this show reasonably priced. I mean, we're seeing the arena right now.
Yeah.
And it's not as crowded. And I think this is something that anyone touring right now, especially if you're coming to Southern California, you got to be aware of a couple of things. We just had Coachella.
And Stagecoach.
Wango Tango's about to happen in a couple of weeks. That's it. That's about all people got money for in LA. Coachella, Stagecoach, Wango Tango. There's no other summer concerts happening.
And I get it. You're dipping into the same pockets of the same people, presumably.
Anyone who is a fan of Beyonce is a fan of the multitude of artists that are at all these other concerts.
And look, this is going to be hell on my drive home, I tell you, because they have a concert going on at the Intuit Dome, which is 200 feet away from SoFi on the other side of the street. Inglewood is going to be difficult to get to. So I don't know. I might as well just stay here overnight.
I'm going to say you're lucky there isn't a Laker and a Dodger game tonight.
No, there's a Dodger game right now. See,
wait, what?
See? Right there? Yeah.
I thought that was pre-taped.
No, that's going on right now.
I didn't know that was live.
Yeah.
You should get the blow-up bed and just camp out.
Just sleep in the office.
It's a busy night in LA.
Oh, it is. It is. Stefan, I don't know when we're getting home.
Well, see, Foosh can leave here and go and catch some Uber money on his way home. Just get a little extra.
You could. Would you though? Would you after a long day working?
I've noticed I can't handle that. That's my limit. I can't go after a shift here. I have to save for the weekends.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Well, how about this? Let's add to everyone else this weekend. We said that we're going to give away 2 pairs of tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale. Why don't we give away 1 pair of tickets right now? If you don't know about the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, since its inception, more than 5 million people from around the world have visited Southern California's Renaissance Pleasure Fair, averaging approximately 20,000 visitors each weekend. And the tickets we're giving out tonight are good through May 11th. So don't feel you got to go like right now or anything. But let's give away tickets to caller number 6. Caller number 6. So give us a call at 800-520-1KFI. 800-520-1534. Caller number 6, you and a guest will be going to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale. Caller number 6, 800-520-1KFI. 800-520-1534. 520-1534. You and a guest, if you're caller number 6, will be going to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale. 800-520-1534. Caller number 6. The tickets are yours. And if you don't win, that's okay. We're giving away another pair of tickets later on tonight because we love giving away free stuff. At the top of the hour, I'll be joined in studio. After a little time away, we missed her, Jackie Rae, and we're going to go beyond the box score with not only the latest on Shannon Sharpe, but did you know the Philadelphia Eagles visited the White House today? With the exception of the MVP star quarterback. Told you. We'll get into that next. We're live everywhere on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app.
Indifference Therapy. KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
County workers on strike. I'm Mark Ronner, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Thousands of LA County workers have walked off the job.
And the strike could potentially disrupt key services. SEIU Local 721, representing 55,000 frontline employees, says the walkout is over unfair labor practices, wage stagnation, and excessive outsourcing. County officials warn of possible delays in healthcare, social services, and public works through Wednesday evening. Union leaders accuse the county of spending billions on contractors while ignoring worker pay and staffing shortages. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
Labor unions and neighborhood councils have weighed in at LA City Hall on the proposal to cut more than 1,600 city workers. Janita Igwailer with the Service Workers Union says labor groups want to work with the mayor and city council to fix LA's finances.
Our city's union workforce is fully committed to ensuring the continuation of high-quality services to our communities, as well as the well-being and advancement of our city.
Igwailer says the city shouldn't balance its billion-dollar budget deficit on the backs of union workers. The mayor says she's hoping for state money to prevent the layoffs. Budget hearings continue tomorrow with the city administrator, city attorney, and city controller set to speak. Santa Monica could soon let people sip a drink while strolling down the 3rd Street Promenade.
Santa Monica city leaders have approved plans for an entertainment zone where public drinking would be allowed every day from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. between Wilshire and Arizona. Drinkers would need to wear wristbands, be 21 or older, and use plastic cups. Some residents and leaders raise security concerns, but supporters say it's a smart way to bring visitors back. A final vote is expected in May with a possible rollout in June. Brigida D'Agostino, KFI News.
Hundreds of renters have rallied at the state capitol in Sacramento to advocate for stronger tenant protections. Renter Barbara Pinto says she and others support the California Affordable Rent Act, which would limit annual rent increases and extend protections to single-family home renters.
Every year the rent goes up with inflation, not only the rents, but everything else. But my checks don't. My checks go up very, very modestly, less than $50 a year. And there's no way I can keep up with inflation.
The bill would also make tenant protections permanent. State Assemblyman Ash Kalra says renters make up about half of California's population and that current law allows for large rent hikes. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation projects Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party has won Canada's federal election. The CBC says the Liberals will win more of Parliament's 343 seats than the Conservatives. It's not clear yet if the Liberals will win an outright majority, which would allow them to pass legislation without needing help. Polls showed Pierre Poilievre and his Conservative Party with comfortable leads only months ago, but Trump's threats of tariffs and remarks that Canada should become the 51st state upended the race. And the Supreme Court set to hear a case about a mistaken FBI raid at a home in Atlanta. Trina Martin sued the federal government for assault and battery, but lower courts dismissed her case. She wants the high court to reinstate it. She says federal agents stormed into her home in 2017 and pointed guns at her and her boyfriend.
It woke me up and I was thinking, what is going on?
She says she thought someone had broken in. The FBI soon realized it was the wrong house. The Supreme Court agreed to take up the case to determine under what circumstances individuals can sue the federal government. The hearing's set for tomorrow. Southland weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight with lows in the low 50s, 40s in the AV and IE. Mostly sunny tomorrow, highs in the low 70s, upper 70s in the valleys IE and AV, and upper 60s at the beaches. And it's going to look about the same the rest of this week. Right now it is 60 in Newport Beach, 62 in Orange, 61 in Sherman Oaks, and 61 in Burbank. And it looks like we got cones on the 405 in Mission Hills.
That's heading southbound from the 5 to San Fernando Mission Boulevard. The right lane's coned off for road work. That's scheduled to end at 11 tonight. And as you travel on the 101 heading northbound in Encino, right before Haskell Avenue, there's a crash along the right shoulder. Watch for some spectator traffic backed up to about the 405. Some good news on the 101 heading southbound that's in downtown LA. Just before the 110, a stall's been cleared out of the second lane from the left. Your drive is recovering from Silver Lake Boulevard. And as you make your way on the 605 heading northbound, that's in Santa Fe Springs after the 105, stop-and-go traffic there starts to clear up as you come across Telegraph. And if you're on the 5 northbound in Anaheim, some good news there. Just before Lincoln, a crash has been moved out of the left lane. Your drive is recovering as you make your way from Ball Road. And a bit of slowing on the 91 heading eastbound in Anaheim Hills. Once you get to Weird Canyon, that clears up just before Gypsum Canyon. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
Future health, weight loss. Want to try Ozempic but can't stand needles? You need to try oral semaglutide. It has the same active ingredient as Ozempic, but without the painful injections. Get access to oral semaglutide right now at futurehealth.com. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Future Health makes it easy and affordable to gain access to weight loss meds like oral semaglutide, Ozempic, and Zepbound for only $3 a day. All from futurehealth.com. These meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Plus, the best part? You don't need insurance or have to go to a doctor's office. Just a quick, easy process, all online. Get the best results at the best price with Future Health. Take the 3-minute quiz at futurehealth.com, get approved, and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. That's futurehealth.com. Future without the E. Future health, weight loss. Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Do you want to sell a house, but it needs a lot of work? Do you need to sell and don't have time to wait for an offer? Wedgwood Homes is actively buying homes in Southern California for cash, with no fees, no agent commissions, no listing contracts, and can be done in as little as 3 days. Make your next move with Wedgwood Homes. No matter the situation, they will help turn your home into cash. It's easy. No repairs, no cleanings, no showings. The Wedgwood Homes team of dedicated professionals will hold your hand throughout the process. Unlike other cash buyers who make an enticing offer and take a quick cut, Wedgwood Homes won't do that. Their offers are firm. No going back with an adjusted offer after you've signed. They've been revitalizing communities for nearly 40 years. Call now for a no-obligation, all-cash offer from Wedgwood Homes. 800-307-2010. Wedgwood Homes, Southern California's trusted home buyer. 800-307-2010. 800-307-2010. Or wedgwoodhomes.com.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. KFI AM 640.
The NFL coming out saying they disagree with kicker Harrison Butker and his controversial commencement address.
Beyond the Box Score with Jackie Rae.
If you ever mention any platform that I'm on again, I promise you, ESPN ain't got enough bosses to keep me off y'all for what I'm going to say. But don't play with me.
The NFL says they have no issue with players doing the signature dance of President-elect Donald Trump during their on-field celebrations.
She's acknowledging the reverse DEI that no one wants to talk about. She has a privilege, and she makes more money than the people who built this league.
Beyond the Box Score with Jackie Rae.
Where sports and society meet.
KFI. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. And joining us now in studio, we've missed her. She's been gone away handling some family business. Jackie Rae, it's good to see you. Welcome back.
It's good to be back. It's good to see you too.
A lot has happened since you were gone.
Yes.
Let's bring up Jackie Rae on the camera. Let's get into Shannon Sharpe.
If we must.
You and I are both Shannon Sharpe fans of what he does.
Yes.
But there has been something missing in my commentary about Shannon Sharpe. Specifically, and I don't want to reduce you to this, but I think it's essential to have this, a female perspective on Shannon Sharpe, what he may have alleged, what has been alleged that he has done, and how we should look upon it.
Well, like you said, I am a Shannon Sharpe fan. However, I'm not a fan of men who act like Shannon Sharpe. If that makes more sense. I'm more a fan of people who have a level of accountability, not I don't want to call it toxic masculinity as much as I want to call it, there's a reason why men in Shannon Sharpe's age group go after women that are 19.
Speak on it. Don't run past that. Speak on it.
In my opinion, I think men who are in their 50s, mid 50s, 60s, whatever, they go after young women who are in their 19 because they can legally do that. So if they could legally get away with going younger, they would go younger, which makes you a pedophile. Let's just call it what it is. And so for me, when you say stuff like you don't like, and then Shannon Sharpe is on record saying this, when you say stuff like, oh, these older women, they like to boast their independence where younger women don't. Well, it's hard to boast independence when you live at home with your parents. It's hard to boast independence when you're still in college. What you're saying is you want somebody that you can manipulate financially and probably mentally because you can. And when we heard the recording of him saying to her, she doesn't want to go, she wants to go out because she doesn't want to get choked out. And he says, well, who says I won't choke you out in public? There's a reason why you are dating a specific type of woman.
You're saying that he wouldn't be able to say that to a 45-year-old woman?
He could, but it would probably come with some consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if you gonna choke me out in public, we might be tussling. So
No. You are going to hit him as hard as you can.
Yes. So it's a different level of, and a lot of men say this, that when women, boast their independence, it's saying they don't need a man. I don't need a man who wants to choke me out in public. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Shannon Sharpe has kind of centered himself in this place where he feels like he has to be the one who dominates the situation in every aspect, financially, physically. And the best way to do that is with somebody, because what kind of bills could you have at 19? So
nothing that he can't handle.
Exactly. So when you're saying, oh, I can take care of this person. Okay. When you get a woman who's in her 30s and you're talking about you can take care of her, that's a bigger financial responsibility. So just say that you don't want to have to be financially obligated to a woman who is grown up and can take care of herself. Now, if he would say that, I would respect him for it.
Here's the next question. I believe that his career and brand are circling the drain. I've listened very closely to what Stephen A. Smith, someone who brought him to ESPN, has been saying, and he's been, in my estimation, creating daylight between him and Shannon Sharpe to not get into the Shannon Sharpe stink on him. Where do you think this leads, regardless of the lawsuits?
I mean, so Shannon kind of boasted when he had, I forget who it was on his show. Was it Cat Williams that made him more money than he said he had ever made before? So we've really kind of dived into this Uncle Shay Shay. So he has a platform beyond ESPN. So
and also Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco.
And that one's always fun because neither one of them have a lick of sense on that show. So it's fun to watch. It's very lighthearted. So I don't think you can really cancel him per se, because I do think we've seen this with Deshaun Watson. There is a demographic of people who will say Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns, who had same attorney, by the way, Tony Busby, kind of brought those women about to say that, Deshaun Watson had sexually harassed them. So there is going to be a demographic of people that say, well, this is consensual, full stop. And there's nothing to talk about. This woman is just trying to get a financial payout. So I don't think that this is going to ruin his career. It might ruin his time with ESPN, but I don't think it ruins his career.
Does this make him unhireable by a network like the NFL network or some other legitimate broadcasting or cable outlet?
That's a good question, because every outlet is suffering in some way. Every outlet is losing viewership in some way. So then it becomes a question of, do we get an influx of viewers because we've presented this shock value? So I think you just really have to kind of read the room. If he beats the case, if he doesn't settle, if he goes to court, that kind of thing, would public perception change? I still think he has a shot. Now, it has changed my perception of him. But then now we're having the debate with the R. Kelly, like, can you still listen to his music but hate what he did as a person? And so now you'll have that debate. Can we still appreciate him to be a great commentary? He brings a lot of humor. Or do we just resign him to this moment in time? And I don't think we would ever do that with Shannon.
When I say we, the media has speculated on other people, be it Diddy, R. Kelly, for any number of reasons. I am going to intentionally speculate in the sense of broaching a possibility which I've not heard elsewhere.
Okay.
And I think it's fair to bring it up. For those who don't know, Shannon Sharpe is an NFL Hall of Famer.
He is.
He played a number of years in the NFL.
I'm from Denver, so we big fans.
Okay. Has there been any discussion, to your knowledge, of whether there also might be a variable of CTE in this. And I mentioned that if only because CTE has been known to create violent impulses and a switch in a person's personality where they can be cool one moment and all of a sudden they can be almost murderous violent.
Listen, if there's been no discussions of that to my knowledge, but if I was his attorney, I definitely would explore that, especially since you can't properly diagnose CTE until death. So we do know that, in the case of Junior Seau, it resulted in him taking his own life.
Suicide, that's right.
So it does manifest itself in different ways. We've seen people act violently. We've seen people go into great depressions. There's no way to really know how someone's going to react to that. And so if I was his attorney, I would lean into that, and I would lean in and say, you know what? He realizes now his behavior was wrong. He's going to get the help that he needs, because that's what people really want. They want accountability. So that's what I would lean into.
It's kind of hard to say you want accountability where up until this point
you've been like, nope.
Not only has he denied everything, he's gone on the offensive to bash the character of the accuser, releasing the text messages. It seems like, I don't know if you can put that toothpaste back in the tube.
See, now I go both ways on that, because when you've been accused of something, if you believe you're right, now whether I believe he's right is irrelevant, but if he believes he's right, he definitely should have released the text messages, because in his mind, he feels that that's going to prove his innocence. To me, it made him look far more guilty.
Okay, let me jump in there. But in releasing those text messages, which were very
inflammatory.
Yeah, inflammatory. He also released the name of the Jane Doe, who I'm not repeating here. Has he set himself up? I know we're not legal scholars, but I would wonder whether he set himself up for a slam dunk defamation case.
Well, the best defense against defamation is the truth. And so from everything we've seen, it was consensual. So we would have to,
as far as what he's
saying, but even she has said, I read a report the other day that said, yes, the relationship was consensual. It's not that she's disputing that. She's disputing the level of violence that happened to her.
And also she's disputing, yes, the relationship was consensual, just not every act within the relationship was consensual.
Right. So that it's that old saying, she said yes 100 times. If she said no one time and you acted on that anyway, then that's a problem. But then it's always going to come down to, where's the proof in that? Did she go to the police immediately? Who did she talk to about this? And that's when it becomes he said, she said, and then it just becomes impossible to prove.
Until other receipts may pop up.
Right.
Because from what we understand, they recorded a lot of stuff.
Well, we saw his Instagram live, so we know he has no problems with the camera being on.
And his concept of consent
might be different than hers.
Yes.
And then why isn't there a discussion about that?
Oh, it's coming.
No, I mean, this is for the young men out there. There should always be a constant conversation about consent. Consent isn't a one-time conversation. It is an ongoing conversation.
Throughout the act, throughout the relationship. Because just because she, in this case, says yes to the act in a general sense, doesn't mean that she approves everything that he wants to do during that act.
Right. And don't try to flip me up. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to switch me up.
You almost went there.
Don't try to do any of that, because you don't know. And that's also what builds true intimacy, is being honest and open about your feelings the entire time. And so for me, it very much gives that was not his intention in this relationship. His intention in this relationship wasn't to build a true, honest, and intimate relationship. It was to be what it was.
He saw about her to be power and dominance.
Yeah, because he saw her in a specific light. And so that's the box he put her in, and that's where he expected her to stay.
But she isn't.
And that's not what he was expecting.
When we come back, we have to talk about Jalen Hurts, the superstar Super Bowl MVP quarterback of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. They visited the White House today. We had talked about this months in advance.
We knew this.
Just because the organization said we enthusiastically we're coming to the White House doesn't mean that everyone was on board. Jalen Hurts said he had a scheduling conflict or something like that.
Yep.
Let's talk about that and the implicit politics of any White House visit. Once again, when we come back. It's Later with Mo Kelly. Jackie Rae joins me on YouTube and also the iHeartRadio app. Now, let's go to Mark Runner in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. Trash fees going up in OC and parts of PCH reopening. Details coming at the bottom of the hour. Right now, we're looking at cones on the 14 in Santa Clarita.
That's heading southbound from Via Princesa to Placerita Canyon. The two right lanes are coned off for road work. That's scheduled to end at 4 a.m. And as you make your way southbound on the 101 in Hollywood, stop-and-go traffic builds up at Vermont Avenue, and then it stays busy from there until you reach the 110. Some good news on the 10 heading eastbound. That's in downtown LA just before the 110. Got a stall that's been cleared out of lanes. Traffic has recovered. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
Pool season starts when I say so. So if wearing floaties to brunch is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
It's Oasis pool season for everyone. Grab a cabana and hit the lazy river at the best pool in SoCal.
Number 2.
Whether you're sinking threes or grand slamming it, just come for the pitchers of beer at Sideline Sports Bar.
And the number 1 reason.
Fog Hat, live May 22nd. Get tickets now.
Morongo, good times.
When you turn to the Employment Development Department, we'll help you get there. Whether it's support for you and your family while you find a new job, or the resources to focus on your recovery after illness or injury, we can help you move forward. From support while you bond with your newborn, to helping serve your family while your partner serves our country. Your EDD. We'll help you get there. For more information, visit edd.ca.gov.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
All right, so Universal Studios is hosting open call auditions for studio tour guides. Gary's thinking about throwing his hat in there.
Heather Brooker had this job. She's got great insights into what it takes.
And why I can't be hired.
Oh, well, the bar's pretty high. It's not just like, oh, I think I want to do this.
Gary and Shannon.
That wasn't my impression of you.
Sure sounded like it.
No.
Tomorrow morning, 9 to 1 p.m. on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, David Guetta, Meghan Trainor, and more. Wingo Tango presented by Fiji Airways. May 10th, Huntington City Beach. All ticket prices go up May 2nd, so get yours now at AXS.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-377-9234. 800-377-9234. 800-377-9234.
Bad breath is no fun, and it doesn't matter who has it. You, your friends, your coworkers, your loved ones. Let me introduce you to Zellman's Minty Mouth. It's a tiny little capsule you swallow, mint on the outside, parsley seed oil on the inside, and clinically tested against the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. And it's not just a mint. You pop 2 or 3 in your mouth, you suck the minty coating, and then you swallow the capsule for fresh, clean breath that lasts for hours. And it doesn't just cover up your bad breath. It cleans your breath in a way other mints can't. It fights bad breath in your mouth and goes down to your gut and really goes to work. Zellman's gives you a money-back guarantee I know you'll never use. There's free shipping if you order 3 packs or more, and trust me, you're going to want more. And I've known the folks behind Zellman's for over 30 years, so I proudly stand behind this product. Go to Zellmans.com/KFI. You'll get a 15% discount. Take advantage of the 15%. Go to Zellmans, ZELMINS.com/KFI. Take advantage of the 15%.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles.
Come together, you say goodbye, and I say hello.
Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits.
And on the run.
Listen commercial-free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Beatles Now and Then, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, tomorrow on the Cowboy Show, they've run out of California license plates. Yeah, all the numbers and letters have been used up. So tomorrow after 4 p.m. on KFI, we'll tell you how they're going to solve that problem.
KFI Mo Kelly. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And if you're in the chat with us on YouTube, let's be clear. We can disagree, but we will not be disrespectful to one another or even a guest on this show. So let's keep it on topic. I love the spirited nature of the chat, but sometimes some people go too far. Jackie Rae, you've been joining us as customary with Beyond the Box Score. We had talked about this subject in a general sense about sports and politics and the politics of visiting the White House. I was of the opinion we need to dead that tradition because we are not in a place where it can be viewed through the lens of sports celebration.
Right.
We had Philadelphia Eagles running back Saquon Barkley go golfing, I think, with President Trump and fly back with him on Air Force One. He received a lot of criticism for that. Jalen Hurts, the Super Bowl quarterback and MVP, did not attend the White House celebration today. He was asked incessantly in the weeks leading up to this, are you going to go? He didn't answer, and then he didn't show up. The public reason he gave was a scheduling conflict or something. Why are we still doing this?
There's no logical reason why you still have teams come to the White House. And I think it's funny that there is a specific demographic of people who will be up in arms that Jalen didn't go. But I would bet my last dollar that those are the same people that would say we need to keep politics out of sports. And so you're speaking with a double mind and you're a hypocrite. Flat out. And so if we're going to keep politics out of sports, then guess what you don't do? You don't go to the biggest political office in the country. And because there is, whether you support that person or not, there is an image that you do. And so regardless of what people say, Jalen did the right thing because the politics that are coming from the White House are not in favor of or in support of anyone who looks like Jalen. And so I think he did the right thing.
What if Jalen Hurts were to say, look, I'm an American too. There are some issues that I have with this president, either personally or politically or his policy. How do you think people would respond to him if he just said, look, I don't want to get into the specifics, but we have a level of disagreement and I don't want to send that message?
Then I think the hypocrites would come out in droves and they would call him anti-American. And they would call him They've
already called him that. I've already seen the messages.
So we know. So there was no win in this. There's no win in saying, hey, I'm not against my colleagues who want to go, but I'm not going because this man does not align with my viewpoints. Then you're going to be anti-American and every other term they can think of. There's no win in not supporting someone who the majority of people have leaned into for reasons that are, to me, not logical. So when you have a group of people that are operating without logic, then you can't expect a logical response to a man who said, I'm not going to win if I say something, so I'm just not going to say anything.
But here's the other side. I've said it before, and I need to reiterate it. If we say take the politics out of sports, what is there then to say when the president inserts himself into sports, commenting on things that are going on in sports? And that's separate and distinct from, let's say, going to a UFC bout, going to NASCAR, or showing up at the Super Bowl. President Trump specifically has had things to say about people in sports, issues in sports, and also had something to say
Super Bowl
about
halftime.
Super Bowl halftime. So the only way you can get past this is to just dead the tradition altogether. And I think it would be better for all involved, including President Trump, because then I get tired of having this conversation.
Though. If you exalt yourself as king, and if you make a fake Time magazine cover hailing yourself as king, do you walk in logic? Or do you walk in make believe? You and Alice is kicking it in Wonderland. That's what we're dealing with right now. So to have a level of expectation for him to operate with the same standards that he is intentionally holding other people to is never going to happen, because it's not required of him by his constituents, and that's not how he sees himself. It's never going to happen.
Okay, so let's then move forward with that assumption that politics is going to remain in sports. But if it's going to remain in sports, let's be clear that there are two entities putting the politics in the sports. We just can't blame the athletes. We can't just say, hey, we got to keep politics out of sports. Athletes should have nothing to say about politics. And at the same time, disregard the president, who is also making political statements about sports. I just want it one way or the other.
So I agree with that. However, this is always going to be the hill that I'm going to die on. Politics affect people. Athletes are people. It's going to be impossible to truly. Now, you can have an atmosphere where you can set rules and say, hey, we're not going to talk about politics while the season is going on. You cannot publicly on social media or anything like that support anything political, whether that's policies that are being passed or politicians. You could do something like that, but then you should also take the national anthem out of every single game, which they probably should do anyway, because for those of you who don't read and don't know, the reason why the national anthem was inserted into sporting events
in the NFL
specifically was because there were low recruitment efforts, and they wanted to use the NFL, which they felt was the biggest stage, to boost recruitment into military institutions. It had nothing to do with patriarchy. It had everything to do with enlistment.
Let me just tell you, there was a big scandal controversy, what they call paid patriotism, where the federal government was paying the NFL to have the flag of the national anthem prominently featured at every single game, especially since 9/11, to boost recruitment.
Yeah, it's not it's not patriotism, it's capitalism. So let's get it right. So while you're saying, oh, that's not patriotic, then you need to really call your congressman and say, hey, we need to take this out of sports entirely, because you cannot say that athletes should keep politics out of sports when you are demanding and will name call and just act a complete fool when they don't go to the White House. You're a hypocrite.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. She's Jackie Rae. Jackie Rae, how can they contact you on social media?
I feel like some of y'all got something to say to me, and trust me.
Well, they're in the chat having something to say.
The only reason I'm not saying it back in social media right now, on YouTube right now, is because we talking. But trust me, when I leave this room, I'm going to have this moment, because my clapback game is strong. But if you want to get at me, my @ is Jackie Rae, JACKIERAE TV.
I hope they're ready, because if you're not ready, it's going to be painful for you. I've seen it happen.
Some of y'all need it, so it's good. It's good.
We're going to keep the sports theme going in just a moment. They had the very first sperm race, which took place here in downtown Los Angeles on Friday. Not only do we have audio from the competition, I'll just leave it at that. We have audio. It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640, and also YouTube now. Mark Ronner has the news.
People in Orange County could see their trash collection fees go up next year. The county's waste disposal agreement with cities is set to expire at the end of June, and city leaders are working to negotiate with the county-owned landfills over how much they have to pay to dump trash. LA Metro has expanded its weapons detection program to another train station.
Metro officials announced the Sea Line's Norwalk station is the next to have the technology, which scans passengers for concealed weapons. Metro Board Chair and LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn says Norwalk will be an example for whether more expansion is needed.
Weapons do not belong on our Metro system. There is no room, in my opinion, for compromise on that.
Metro has said the tech has been effective at Union Station and elsewhere. It was implemented after multiple violent attacks, including murder on Metro's train system last year. Michael Monks, KFI News.
Sections of PCH that had been closed Saturday have reopened. The roadway was shut down because of mudslides, leaving residents and pass holders no way to get into the fire zone area between Topanga Canyon Boulevard and Carbon Beach Terrace. The Vatican has announced a date for the conclave to elect a successor to Pope Francis. ABC's James Longman says it'll begin Wednesday, May 7th.
This is when 135 cardinals who are eligible to vote will be deciding on who is the next pope. This is following, of course, the death of Pope Francis. Thousands have already been to pay their respects. The line goes all the way around the building here.
Tens of thousands of people have already visited Pope Francis's tomb. And parts of Europe are recovering from a major power outage. ABC's Marcus Moore says Spain, Portugal, and parts of southern France were affected.
People working and going about their day in the dark. People who were on the metro system, they had to get off of those trains and were seen walking down the track.
Officials say the cause is unclear. Southland weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight with lows in the low 50s, 40 in the AV and IE. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 70s, upper 70s in the valleys, IE and AV, upper 60s at the beaches, and it's going to be about the same all week. Right now it's 60 in Irvine, 62 in Downey, and more cones, this time on the 5 in Santa Clarita.
That's heading southbound from Lyons Avenue to the 14th. The 2 right lanes coned off for roadworks, set to reopen at 6 a.m. And as you make your way southbound on the 605 in Santa Fe Springs, approaching the 5, seeing some brake lights there, and your drive stays busy, clearing up just before the 105. And a work zone on the 15, southbound in Hesperia from the 395 to Oak Hill. You'll see the 2 left lanes coned off. That's scheduled to end at 4 a.m. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
This Mother's Day, raise a toast to your mom with a cocktail made from her own Bartesian, the sleek cocktail maker that crafts premium drinks at the touch of a button. With no measuring, no mess, and 60 cocktails to choose from, she can enjoy her favorites anytime in under 30 seconds. That's Bartesian. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartesian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom.
This is CEOs You Should Know.
I'm Jeff Thomas, Executive Vice President at iHeartMedia in Los Angeles, and today's guest is Ishan Patel, founder and CEO of Audion Hearing. So how do you get into the hearing aid business? Because you are not of the age where you would need a hearing aid.
I actually grew up, my grandfather has pretty significant hearing loss, so I grew up experiencing hearing loss every day in the household, and what people don't realize is that it completely ruins your ability to have a relationship with that individual. There was a huge need that needed to be filled. 80% of people with hearing loss do not wear a hearing aid. Can you imagine? It's the 3rd largest untreated medical condition on earth. So it was just a problem that was so big and so close to home that it felt like it was really worth trying to solve.
Listen to CEOs You Should Know on the iHeartRadio app.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, David Guetta, Meghan Trainor, and more. Wingo Tango presented by Fiji Airways. May 10th, Huntington City Beach. All ticket prices go up May 2nd, so get yours now at AXS.com.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. Cal Hope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Future health, weight loss.
Want to try Ozempic but can't stand needles? You need to try oral semaglutide. It has the same active ingredient as Ozempic, but without the painful injections. Get access to oral semaglutide right now at futurehealth.com. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Future Health makes it easy and affordable to gain access to weight loss meds like oral semaglutide, Ozempic, and Zepbound for only $3 a day. All from futurehealth.com. These meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Plus, the best part? You don't need insurance or have to go to a doctor's office. Just a quick, easy process, all online. Get the best results at the best price with Future Health. Take the 3-minute quiz at futurehealth.com, get approved, and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. That's futurehealth.com. Future without the E.
Future health, weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
American Vision Windows now offering 25% off windows and doors for April. AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Way back in 1440, Gutenberg's printing press sounded terrible. In 1922, Earl C. Anthony created KFI.
KFI in Los Angeles.
It also sounded terrible. But now, KFI on the iHeartRadio app brings you digital sound. From the dulcet tones of Tim Conway Jr.
Ding dong!
to the warm, comforting siren song that is Shannon Farron. If you haven't heard KFI on the free iHeartRadio app, you haven't heard KFI.
Broadcasting with 50,000 watts of power.
Live everywhere in living color on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and on YouTube. And let me just tell you, the chat on YouTube is off the chains. And I'm trying to keep it under control. But if you want to see the show, definitely go to YouTube. If you want to experience the heat behind the show, go to YouTube, get in the chat, keep it respectful, not only to each other, but to our guests, because our guests will be participating in the chat. We can disagree, but we will not be disrespectful. Do not say anything in the chat that you would not say in person. I see some folks there who don't want to post their real picture, but all have all sorts of things to say they wouldn't dare say in person. We don't do that here. Act like you have some home training, or we'll just block you. Let's talk about sperm racing. I know that's one hell of a transition, but I just had to do it. Sperm racing is here, and it kicked off on Friday in downtown L.A.
Mysterious white stuff.
Oh, whoa.
Here we go.
Whoa. Slow down. Woo. All right, let's try that again.
Mysterious white stuff. Shooting from a water gun made this moment borderline raunchy and entertaining. Downtown LA's night scene exploding Friday with an event billed as the world's first sperm race.
What the hell made you want to do this?
4 contestants came with...
What? Wait.
They did what?
I didn't hear what he said.
4 contestants came.
Oh, he meant showed up.
They arrived at the
venue. Yeah. I misunderstood.
4 contestants came with the goal to win $10,000 in bragging rights for the strongest, fastest semen.
I want to build Olympics for sperm.
Eric Zhu is one of the sperm racing organizers. With the help of wealthy investors, the 17-year-old Bay Area high school student and entrepreneur launching this epic competition to raise awareness on male fertility health.
The general public doesn't talk about it because it's so taboo. It's always been associated with adult entertainment or something that's degenerate. What we want to do is we want to make it more of like a sport or a different type of entertainment, but more of like optimizing biomarkers.
The contenders who were handpicked.
What was he talking about?
I'm confused. He's 17, multimillionaire from the Bay Area.
Evidently, he's turned something into nothing. He birthed something out of this.
The general public doesn't talk about it because it's so taboo. It's always been associated with adult entertainment or something that's degenerate. What we want to do...
Those are words out of his mouth. I don't associate it with... Never mind.
With adult entertainment or something that's degenerate. What we want to do is we want to make it more of like a sport or a different type of entertainment, but more of like optimizing biomarkers.
The contenders, who were handpicked out of dozens of young men, were given money each week to train their mind, bodies, and diets ahead of the viral, sold-out marathon.
When you really think about it, we all won our own individual sperm races to get onto this planet, so it's only fit that we make this a format that we can all watch and enjoy.
The competitors' sperm put into a microscopic racetrack.
And you can see the microscopic racetrack on our YouTube channel.
Wait, from their sperm?
Correct.
That's what was in the water gun?
No, not in the water gun. No. That was, never mind.
And then they're off. The sperm literally captured on this screen, swimming to the finish line. The winner celebrates while the loser gets slimed. But perhaps this was the matchup of the night. Male students from USC and UCLA. In the end, the Trojan won.
Oh, I see what he did there.
Oh, wow.
The Trojan won. He could have kept it as just USC and UCLA, but no, he had to say Trojan. Mm-hmm.
In the end, the Trojan won. The Bruin got cream.
Okay.
Hey.
Wow. Good Lord.
This was KTLA.
He knew what he was saying there.
Whoa.
Golly.
No,
that was just really uncalled for. I mean,
I call foul.
I remember back in the 1970s, they would have never done anything like that.
Look, miss, would you try answering the questions as I ask them?
Yes, Mr. Grant, I will, but it does seem that you've been asking a lot of very personal questions that don't have a thing to do with my qualifications for this job.
You know what? You got spunk.
Well,
I hate spunk.
They would have never done anything like that in the 1970s. No. They would never have done that in the 1970s.
Where are we going? This is getting worse.
Where are we going?
It's in the hole. It's in the hole. It's in the...
Why are people making Caddyshack and Mary Tyler Moore references? Stephen, I don't get it. What is the connection you're trying to make here?
Oh, boy. Did the people behind this race issue a release? Hello?
Daniel is laughing his head off.
He is losing it out here.
I don't know why.
He's dying
I
out
didn't
here.
get the joke.
It wasn't a joke. It's a serious journalistic question.
I just don't know what you're going for.
How did these individuals show up? I mean, did they have sweatpants? Did they have to stand behind like something that blocks their lower extremities and they strip down and they enter the competition? I mean, how does this work? I'm trying to
I don't know the inner workings of this. I don't know how it all is supposed to play out.
Did the event have any sponsors?
Not Trojan.
No.
Not Trojan.
Okay.
Because the Trojan, never mind. I can't say that. I can't say that. I don't know.
There's
Why are you asking these questions? I don't know.
No, there's a lotion sponsor, obviously. A tissue sponsor, obviously, Mark.
Obviously. What? This was a silly question.
I mean, what else? A KY sponsor, obviously.
I don't know. I want to know if the reporter on that story got a raise or got fired, because it could have gone either way.
It's in the hole.
You're not funny, Stefan. No, you're not funny. Just because someone laughed doesn't mean that you're funny.
well,
I hate spunk.
You guys are not funny. I just don't understand why you think he's funny just making these sound effects.
do what?
I don't know. I just don't know. We're trying to have a serious conversation about sperm racing, and then all of a sudden,
the Bruin got creamed.
It was all downhill from there.
After that, yeah.
It was all
I
downhill.
don't even know why that had to be included in the story.
Now, I was watching this Friday night when it was live. And
you were? Night, were you?
Oh, in the
What's on TV?
In a dark room?
We have, well, this is a working newsroom, and we have the news. We have the news on in here 24/7. But the anchors at the desk seemed like they didn't quite know what to do or say after the creamed line at the end.
Well, I mean, they
have a
clean
cigarette?
Up. Yeah, clean up, have a cigarette.
Decide who's going to
grab a towel.
Yeah, because no one wants to sleep in. Never mind.
No.
Can we go to break now?
Please. I think we should.
Are you sure? KFI AM 640. It's later with Mo Kelly.
In the hole.
We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app until we get suspended, and we're on YouTube in perpetuity. Carnatia. No, you can't say that on the air. Now to Mark Ronner in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. California lawmakers demand full disclosure of financial dealings leading up to President Trump's decision to pause tariffs. And a former San Diego mayor has died. We will have those stories at the top of the hour. Right now, we're heading to a crash on the 71 in Pomona.
That's heading southbound right at Mission Boulevard. It looks like it's partially in lanes along the right shoulder. It's causing some looky-loo slowing from the 57. And if you're traveling on the 105 westbound in Inglewood just after Prairie, there's a crash there. Motorcycle involved. The left lane is blocked. You'll see a busy ride coming away from Crenshaw. And the 15 southbound, that's in Victorville from Bear Valley to the 395. A work zone has the two left lanes closed off until 5 a.m. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
Pool season starts when I say so. So if wearing floaties to brunch is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
It's Oasis pool season for everyone. Grab a cabana and hit the lazy river at the best pool in SoCal.
Number 2.
Whether you're sinking threes or grand slamming it, just come for the pitchers of beer at Sideline Sports Bar.
And the number 1 reason.
Fog Hat, live May 22nd. Get tickets now.
Morongo, good times.
You have a car you're not using, it's just sitting around? Stop paying for the registration and insurance and donate it to Cars for Kids instead. It's easy. They'll pick it up as soon as tomorrow at no cost to you and convert it into funds to help children. Plus, you'll receive a tax deduction and a vacation voucher. Wow! Visit carsforkids.org or call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS, Cars for Kids. Sorry. Simplify your life and help kids at the same time. Carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
You'll learn more before breakfast than most people learn all day. Wake Up Call with Amy King. Live 5 to 6 a.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
As the experts in transmissions for over 50 years, there's nothing at AMCO we haven't heard.
So when I hit the gas,
It's just a belt. And nothing we can't fix.
it's going. What's that?
From transmissions to brakes and everything in between. No credit? Finance your repair at AMCO.
Exclusions apply, may not be combined with any other offer. Limited time offer, participating centers only.
People who know go to AMCO. AA MCO.
You know, if I'm ever hurt in an accident, I'm calling Sweet James. That's right. Petro's here. I already know that's the team I want by my side, and so should you. Because the attorneys at Sweet James don't just win, they win the most. For example, one of our listeners was injured after being rear-ended at a red light. The insurance company offered him $60,000. Now, that might seem like a lot of money, but with Sweet James protecting him, they were awarded $745,000 instead. They can't guarantee the outcome of a case, but whether it's a car crash, motorcycle accident, trucking accident, the attorneys at Sweet James are unstoppable in their pursuit of justice. And you pay nothing until they win, so if your loved one is hurt in an accident, call Sweet James at 800-9-MILLION for a free consultation. It's an easy number to remember during an uneasy time. Don't wait, because waiting can hurt your case. Call the firm that wins the most. Call Sweet James at 800-9-MILLION. That's 800-9-MILLION or sweetjames.com.
Americans pay about $5 billion to control termites and repair their damage every year. Many people underestimate exactly how much damage they do. Call Pacific Coast Termite today at 800-PACIFIC for a free home inspection. Certain restrictions apply. No tenting, no double bagging your food, no pet sitting. Mention KFI and get 10% off termite treatments and a 2-year guarantee on their work. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC, or go to PacificCoastTermite.com today.
Here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means a $100,000 savings account today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. And you see it every time you fill up your tank, buy groceries, or pay the bills. Prices are up, your dollar is down. But there's a simple way to protect the value of your savings with something real, something proven. Gold. An asset that holds its value over time. That's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple to protect your savings with physical gold or silver. No high-pressure sales, no call centers, just honest guidance, one-on-one support, and transparent pricing. And right now, when you open a qualified account, Noble Gold will send you a free 1/10 of an ounce gold coin as a thank you. Head to CobaltGold.com today to learn more. KOBYLT. That's CobaltGold.com. Don't just protect your wealth, preserve its power.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Are people rethinking, changing, or hyphenating their last names after marriage? With the SAVE Act possibly passing, things could get a little crazy, and I'm in the middle of that right now. That's coming up at 7:30 tomorrow morning on the next Bill Handel Show.
iHeartRadio app and also YouTube. Make sure, oh my goodness, I wish you could see what's going on in the chat. Y'all are crazy. In fact, y'all are kind of funny, as a matter of fact. You need to subscribe. It's free. It makes it easy to find the show the next night. It's absolute hilarity in the chats. You guys are pretty funny tonight. And it's a community. You'll see a lot of the same people. They'll sign on and say hello to each other, and they'll say goodnight to each other. Be a part of the Later with Mo Kelly YouTube community. Watch the show live as it happens. Comment as it happens. I am responding in the chat as well. I'm trying to get to all in there, but he's...
Nah, I don't chat.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Someone may say something sideways.
I know they will,
and I don't play like that.
And they're really good at the callbacks. So remember
they
stuff
are.
From
I
forgot we talked about.
They start pushing stories together, making jokes.
Yep.
Let's get into the horoscope. Let's go, Aries. This week, you can expect a significant boost in income thanks to positive planetary movements. Fresh job opportunities may arise, and debts could be easier to manage. Aries natives facing disputes might find favorable outcomes during negotiations. However, caution is advised. Avoid taking unnecessary risks, especially on Saturday, when emotional attractions might distract you from work responsibilities. Taurus, you may encounter a slow start as the moon sits in their 12th house, but improvements will be noticeable by tomorrow. Business-related travel could be profitable, and permanent property investments may yield gains. Legal matters should move in your favor midweek with strong family backing and the possibility of lucrative new deals. Gemini.
Let's have it.
You, Gemini, enter the week on a high with good chances to recover stuck money and stabilize earnings. Still, midweek may bring potential conflicts, so it's best to avoid unnecessary arguments, Mark. Unnecessary.
They're all necessary.
Especially during late night outings. They're speaking to you.
They are.
They don't know me.
Directly.
They don't know anything about me.
Despite minor dips in energy and rising expenses around Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday promises success in pending projects, financial gains, and the possibility of a rewarding short trip. It's probably like sex or something like that.
No, unlikely.
Callback. Cancer. Cancer natives can look forward to peaceful family matters early in the week, but should brace for hurdles midweek with rising expenses and minor disputes. Fortunately, positivity returns by Friday, bringing speedy task completions and potential financial improvements. As the weekend rolls in, the stars encourage you to relax and cherish joyful family moments, particularly by Saturday evening.
Very accurate.
In other words, live for the weekend.
Yes.
And I have a car bill coming up. Or repair. So, yeah.
Leo. Leos will enjoy the favorable influence of a strong Sun and Mars pairing, boosting momentum in stalled tasks and financial gains. A growing social reputation and new travel opportunities could add excitement to your week. Children's achievements might also be a source of pride. However, caution is necessary by Saturday to avoid unnecessary expenses and minor tensions at home or work. Hey, Virgos, you're next. Virgos may experience financial fluctuations at the beginning of the week, including possible issues related to vehicles. Disagreements could surface, but perseverance will lead to recognition in your field. By Friday and Saturday, Virgos can expect smoother routines, family celebrations, rising income, and uplifting news from children. Libras, this is for you. You'll see a bright start with supportive family members and rising income. Yet challenges could crop up from Tuesday evening into midweek, including unexpected expenses and a slight dip in external support. Thankfully, Friday and Saturday promise a return to smooth sailing. You may host guests, meet influential figures, and although a planned trip could be delayed, social connections will thrive. Scorpio, here you go, Tuwala.
Go.
Tuwala may feel pressure at the start of the week, but reliefs set in by Tuesday evening.
Is he entering that race? That's what I thought too. We want your pressure relieved.
Yes. Don't do it, Stefan. Don't do it.
Come on,
don't do it.
Don't be stingy.
Don't reach for it. Financial gains, supportive children, favorable outcomes in travel, and strong luck align midweek. However, the weekend may bring increased spending, like going to a concert.
Yeah,
minor disputes
this weekend, so yeah, all
and
weekend long.
Potential issues with vehicles. So vigilance is essential.
All that makes perfect sense. I mean, I got a straight 15-year-old birthday happening this weekend. It's like
15
Thursday.
Already?
Yes, right.
Golly.
Thursday. No, the party starts actually Wednesday. So
it's hard to believe she was like
Thursday, Friday. Yeah,
4 years old when I met her. Something like that.
Yes.
Sagittarius, it's me. I can expect an overall upbeat week with pending issues resolving and fresh financial prospects emerging. Friendships and travel will feature prominently, offering new opportunities for growth. However, caution is required this Thursday to avoid hidden tensions stirred by Mars. I need a release. Ending the week on a positive note. Sagittarians like me will enjoy festive events and warm family interactions through a calm approach, though a calm approach is recommended on Saturday evening. So I won't party. Capricorn will juggle high expenses early in the week, particularly concerning health, but gains in property-related matters are possible. Income flows should improve from Tuesday onward, accompanied by progress on long-stalled projects. Aquarius, y'all will benefit from favorable lunar energy, leading to victories in disputes and profitable land-related dealings. However, early to midweek calls for caution. As necessary, spending and minor setbacks may arise. Hard work will pay off by Thursday and Friday. Clearing pending work. Anxiety could spike slightly on Saturday, so a measured approach to workplace challenges is recommended. And closing out with Pisces. Pisceans are in for a fast-paced week with quick task completions and smooth progress in their professional plans.
Quick completions?
They're all part of the race, Mark.
Everything is.
Task completions.
Thank you.
Yes.
Quick task.
You don't want to be slow to the draw.
No.
Quick task completions.
You want to release quickly. Yes. Absolutely.
Profitable property dealings are likely, and networking opportunities could help you achieve major career goals. Midweek could involve spending on home-related purchases, but maternal support will be a source of strength. Minor family disagreements, they might occur, yet Saturday promises smoother waters and renewed optimism. And there is your horoscope for the week. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We are live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. And it is still going down in the chat. They are discussing the horoscope right now. And it is high comedy. It is really high comedy, and it's not meant to be shared on air. That's all I can say. KFI AM 640. We have your box office returns when we come back. We're live everywhere on the YouTube and the iHeartRadio app.
We're watching everything, so you can watch your sanity.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
It's strike season. I'm Mark Ronner, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A union representing more than 55,000 workers at LA County government has gone on strike.
The Service Employees International Union 721 says it represents county workers at libraries, parks, social workers, mental health workers, and public works positions. The union says the county has failed to negotiate a new contract in good faith, offering no cost of living wage. The county says it's got a $4 billion sex abuse settlement to pay and $2 billion in damages from the January wildfires to deal with. The strike is scheduled to be 48 48 hours long, ending Wednesday evening. Michael Monks, KFI News.
Democratic lawmakers from California have sent a letter to the White House demanding full disclosure of financial dealings leading up to President Trump's decision to pause tariffs earlier this month. KFI's Jim Roop says Senator Adam Schiff and Congressman Mike Levin have 23 other Democrats signed onto the letter.
Democrats are suggesting that some in and around the administration may have violated insider trading laws. The letter states concerns that no disclosure reports have been posted in the Office of Government Ethics database since Mr. Trump took office.
The letter also asks that the disclosures be made public. The former mayor of San Diego, Bob Filner, has died. He was only mayor of San Diego for 9 months, resigning in 2013 after being accused of sexual harassment and assault.
The city should not have been put through this, and my own personal failures were responsible, and I apologize to the city.
Filner eventually pleaded guilty to false imprisonment and battery. He was 82 years old. The LAPD has released images of a man suspected of sexually assaulting a woman on an MTA bus. Police say the woman was on a bus in the area of Sunset Boulevard and Vermont Avenue on the night of April 12th when the guy sat next to her. They say he started a conversation with her before pulling out a knife and demanding money from her. The cops say she didn't have any cash, so he allegedly sexually assaulted her for several minutes before the bus stopped and she ran off. The Catholic Church is being criticized for sending a cardinal from L.A. who was accused of covering up sexual abuse by priests to the funeral services of Pope Francis. Cardinal Roger Mahoney was chosen by the Vatican to take part in the closing of the Pope's casket. Attorney John Manley, who represented survivors of child sex abuse in the church, tells KFI's John Cobelt it's not a good look.
What message does that send to other bishops and cardinals throughout the world who are covering this up or who might cover it up? And the answer is nothing's going to happen.
89-year-old Cardinal Mahoney was the Archbishop of L.A. from 1985 until his retirement from the Catholic Church in 2011. More than 100 people have been arrested in Colorado during a DEA raid on an illegal nightclub in Colorado Springs. The DEA says illegal immigrants and several active duty service members were among those detained this past weekend. The owner of the building says he had no idea anything out of the ordinary was happening at the property.
This is supposed to be a space for birthdays, weddings, quinceañeras, stuff like that. They're not allowed to serve alcohol. It's written in their lease. They're not allowed to do any illegal activity.
That's also in the lease. The feds say pink cocaine and other drugs were found at the club, along with weapons and evidence of prostitution. And more than 7,000 cases of Martinelli's apple juice are being recalled across 28 states. Jim Forbes says, according to the company, some of the juice has been contaminated by a toxic substance called petulin, which is created by mold.
The recall affects more than 173,000 bottles of apple juice, and the FDA says exposure to the substance could cause adverse health consequences.
The recall is for the 10-ounce glass bottles. Southland weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight with lows in the low 50s, 40 in the AV and IE, mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 70s, upper 70s in the valleys, IE and AV, and upper 60s at the beaches, and not much change for the rest of the week. Right now it's 60 in Orange, 59 in Villa Park, 59 in Sherman Oaks, 61 in Compton, and we're headed to a crash on the 71 in Compton.
That's heading southbound. Heading southbound right at Mission Boulevard. It's on Pomona, blocking the right lane. You'll see traffic backed up to about the 57. And as you make your way on the 10, heading eastbound in Rosemead, that's going to be right at Walnut Grove Avenue. A crash there, partially blocking the off-ramp. You'll see a bit of slowing as you make your way through that area. And as you travel on the 105, westbound in Hawthorne, right after Prairie Avenue, still got a crash that has the left lane off limits. So traffic starts to stack up as you approach Crenshaw. Traveling on the 5, heading southbound in Santa Clarita, we have a work zone. That's from Lyons Avenue to the 14. The 2 right lanes are off limits. That's scheduled to end at 5 a.m. And as you make your way northbound on the 5 in Santa Clarita, from the 14 to Cowgrove Boulevard, 2 right lanes coned off for road work set to end at 6 a.m. 14 southbound in Santa Clarita, we have a work zone from Via Princesa to Placerita Canyon. The 2 right lanes are off limits. That's scheduled to end at 4 a.m. And as you make your way on the 15 southbound in Victorville, we have a cone zone from Bear Valley to Highway 395. You'll see the 2 left lanes coned off there, scheduled to end at 5 in the morning. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
As you have now heard, the hantavirus caused by the urine and feces of rodents can lead to serious illness and even death. If you suspect you have a rodent issue, call the experts at Rodent Stop. For a one-time fee, Rodent Stop will identify and seal all rodent entry points, trap and remove all rodents, sanitize your attic to remove any nasty viruses, and we even remove and replace all rodent-infested attic insulation. Rodent Stop is so confident that they can stop your rodent problems that they also back up their work with a lifetime guarantee. If you hear the pitter-patter of little feet in your attic, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343. We're dedicated to providing fast, friendly, and effective rodent control solutions throughout Southern California. Plus, our technicians are clean, friendly, and always on time. If you've got rodents, call Rodent Stop for a free inspection at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, David Guetta, Meghan Trainor, and more. Wango Tango presented by Fiji Airways. May 10th, Huntington City Beach. All ticket prices go up May 2nd, so get yours now at AXS.com.
April 30th is Green Socks Day. Why green socks? Because they stand for growth. Financial growth, community growth, and opportunity for all. Whether you're in the boardroom or the classroom, your socks can spark a conversation about financial literacy and opportunity for all. So on April 30th, rock your green socks, post your pics, and tag #GreenSocksDay. Visit OperationHope.org to learn more. Let's grow together.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 and also YouTube. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. And then gotta say, I did not expect that Sinners would have as good a second weekend as it did the first weekend. It only dropped 4.8% from last week, which is the lowest drop from the first week to the second week for a wide release movie in the history of cinema. When I say that that's unheard of, it is literally unheard of. No one has ever heard of that happening, nor seen it happening. Sinners came in number 1 at $45.7 million. The week previous, it was $48 million. Now, it has a worldwide gross of $163 million, and it has an international take of $40 million, and it is growing. For what I mean by that is, it only had $15 million international its first week. And it now has another $25 million added onto it, meaning it's gaining momentum internationally. Domestically, it added another 40 theaters. That's unusual for a horror movie. Horror movies, especially if they're rated R, are usually limited in their appeal to movie theaters. One, not all theaters are going to show rated R movies. It's definitely an R movie. And also, it's a mostly African-American cast. Is probably not playing in Idaho. Can we tell the truth? So the ceiling most people thought was on the movie for the first week. But it's adding theaters. It's retaining its average take per theater, something that we just haven't seen before. And it remained, obviously, at number 1 in its second week. Interestingly enough, did you see what came in second place this week, Tuwala?
I did. I thought that was going to do better.
Well, put it this way. I didn't know that there was such a market to see the 20th anniversary re-release of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. First, it's hard to believe that was 20 years ago.
Yes.
And Hayden Christensen, he's not aging well.
Okay.
He's not aging well.
He has had a fantastic resurgence.
Yes, he has.
His appearance at the Star Wars Festival in Japan recently literally tore the roof off. His announcement that he's coming back for the next season of Ahsoka and there is now because there is such a fervor surrounding him, there is actually talk of doing a live action series, kind of like Clone Wars, where we're going to see some other adventures of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka and all them as adults growing up, live action. I'm like, because he's popping right now. So the re-release did good.
25 million, and that does go to the total of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. They don't separate it. It's just all put in one pot. Coming in third this week is The Accountant 2. I rewatched The Accountant 1 last night so I could get myself ready to see The Accountant 2. Yes, I went back to the theater. I tried to, forget what happened last time. I was a real big fan of the first Accountant, Ben Affleck, J.K. Simmons. The Accountant 2, let me just put it this way. See the first one, because there are a lot of threads which are carried over to the second one. There are plot lines, there are characters, there are storylines and character history which won't make any sense at all if you've not seen the first one and seen it recently to refresh your memory. So you know who this person is, their backstory, because they're not going to introduce the people. You're just going to have to kind of know who they are and the importance to the overall story arc. Ben Affleck, I think, is actually a pretty damn good actor. He obviously plays an autistic savant killer. He is a killer, but the way he processes information is different from the rest of us, as we're called normies. It's a great acting performance. It probably won't get the just due that I think it deserves. John Bernthal is hilarious in this. He's actually playing a comedic brother killer. He was in the first one, but you get to see more of his character's personality. When I say it only brought in 24 million, which is not bad. It wasn't a huge release. It was only in 3,600 theaters. For an action movie, I'm expecting over 4,000 theaters. It wasn't.
But see, that's not a film that was widely released the first time.
That's true.
And it's not a film that has a huge following. I'd say almost now it's grown more of a cult following, because when I talk about it, a lot of people are like, what is The Accountant?
Most people, right. The first movie, it's almost like either you saw it or you didn't. You either liked it or you didn't, but it wasn't one which generated a lot of publicity.
No.
I liked it. So I talked about this back at the end of 2024, I was looking forward to this sequel, and I'm glad they did it. I think it did the first one pretty good justice. I enjoyed it. I understand if other people don't necessarily care for it, but it brought in 37 million worldwide. I don't think the budget could have been too large on this one. Let me look it up real quick.
It was 44 million.
And it brought in 37 million worldwide. Okay, this first week. They're doing okay. You know what that means, Mark?
Number 3.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because they're just making money.
Wait,
at this one.
does the story call for a third time?
Yes, it does.
Really?
It does, because this is not giving anything away.
Is there just
Ben
more
Affleck's
accountants?
character was an accountant for the mob.
Yeah.
And he was doing a lot of illegal stuff with a lot of shady characters. He also has ties to the federal government. And J.K. Simmons' character was using the accountant to help solve crimes in the first movie.
I didn't realize the first one made as much as it did. I'm seeing $155 million.
It was a slow burn.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't realize people were clamoring for sequels to that. I kind of enjoyed it, but
I don't know if anyone was clamoring. I think this one was just done. I don't know if anyone was like, hey, we need...
I think there was more than just a little bit of a push. When you talk about $155 million for a more obscure Ben Affleck movie, which has done better than a lot of his movies as of late, there's enough of an audience where... Now, I know they wanted more than a 24 million domestic haul for its first week, but it's doing well enough to justify a third movie. There's enough story to be told the way they tell it. It's almost episodic, where in this movie, it's a very specific story about helping a very specific family, almost in an Equalizer sort of way. I don't want to give it away.
Now, was the first one, he was helping a girl, right? Or was she just did she just get caught up in the accounting?
Yeah. She got caught up. In the first one, you're talking about actress Anna Kendrick. She was a secondary character who was introduced midway, and because of what Ben Affleck's character and Anna Kendrick's character revealed through their accounting, she all of a sudden was in danger.
Did he help her file an extension?
Here we go.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Oh, no. Time out for you, good sir. What?
All I'm going to say is watch the first movie. It prepares you for the second movie, because otherwise you'll see these characters like, why should I care about them? Well, you need to have seen the first movie to know why you should care about them.
I saw the first one like maybe 2 years ago.
And you need to see it again just to get yourself up to date, and it'll make the second movie make all that much more sense. We have J.K. Simmons in the first movie. When you see him in the second movie, you won't have any you will not be any way unclear as far as what he's doing, why he's there.
What about the action? We were talking about movies with satisfying action before we got on the air. Is the violence in this satisfying? Is it good?
The violence in this is satisfying, but there's not as much as the first one. The first one, when you see the first one, it's way on the top.
As much
No. He is, but it's not on the. I don't know. Maybe
he needs to hold people to account.
He does.
This is going to be a lower filing.
No.
The return on.
No,
this
he's going to get 1040 in. I promise you.
Okay.
He's going to follow Schedule C on that ass.
My biggest question, because already whatchamacallit is just now available on streaming.
A Working Man?
Yeah, we were like, what the hell? How soon? Like how many weeks before I have to?
Oh, I would say 3 to 4 weeks. It did well enough its first week. They're going to keep it in theaters.
Okay, 3 to 4 weeks. Okay.
We got to go to break, but I got to remind you, we're going to give away another pair of tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale later on tonight. So you got to keep listening. You got to keep watching on our YouTube stream. And the tickets we're giving out tonight are good through May 11th, so you don't have to feel like you have to rush. But highly recommend the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale. That's coming up soon. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. Mark Ronner with the news.
Here's the latest from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. San Clemente's mayor says there's progress with Border Patrol with cameras along the shoreline in Orange County. That story and more coming at the bottom of the hour. Right now, it looks like a motorcycle crash on the 105 in Inglewood.
That's heading westbound just after Prairie Avenue. It looks like only the right lane is closed right now, as it's been cleared out of the other lanes as CHP is on scene and trying to clean things up. You're seeing a heavy ride still from about Crenshaw. And as you make your way on the 405 southbound in West LA, that's just before Santa Monica Boulevard, a wreck there in the center divider slowing you down from Wilshire. Pomona 71 southbound at Mission, still got a crash there that has the right lane blocked off, causing some stop-and-go traffic from the 10. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
NetSuite is your AI-powered business management system in one convenient suite, uniting finance, accounting, inventory, HR for a smarter, faster business. Everyone works from the same numbers. It helps you forecast the future, and tell me that isn't important now. If your business does $2 million or more per year, take a good look at NetSuite. You won't be alone. Over 41,000 businesses have done so. Go to netsuite.com/handle. Get the CFO's guide to AI and machine learning. netsuite.com/handle.
It's complicated. These days, that's how people even describe their relationship status. When it comes to the latest complexities in your car, it's gotten really complicated. The experts at AMCO undergo the most rigorous training to stay on top of the latest car technologies, so there's nothing we can't fix. Well, except for that complicated relationship. When it comes to that, you're on your own. AA, MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free.
This report is sponsored by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Join in for Mookie Betts bobblehead night on May 13th versus the A's. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will take home a Mookie Betts bobblehead presented by Security Benefit. Own this special play at first base. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
If Trump is below 40%. What do you think Kennedy's was at 100 days? What was Kennedy's approval rating?
48%.
Wrong.
32.
Wrong.
Well,
Wrong.
76.
Close. 83.
I feel like you can't compare.
You can't. Gary and Shannon.
Part of what has changed between Kennedy and Trump, people are a lot more comfortable criticizing the president vocally.
Tomorrow morning, 9 to 1 p.m. on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Bad breath is no fun, and it doesn't matter who has it. You, your friends, your coworkers, your loved ones. Let me introduce you to Zellman's Minty Mouth, a tiny little capsule you swallow, clinically tested against the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. It cleans your breath in a way other mints can't. Go to Zellmans.com/KFI. You'll get a 15% discount. Take advantage of the 15%. Go to Zellmans, ZELMINS.com/KFI. Take advantage of the 15%.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-927-1086. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-927-1086. 800-927-1086. 800-927-1086.
Future health, weight loss. Want to try Ozempic but can't stand needles? You need to try oral semaglutide. It has the same active ingredient as Ozempic, but without the painful injections. Get access to oral semaglutide right now at futurehealth.com. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Future Health makes it easy and affordable to gain access to weight loss meds like oral semaglutide, Ozempic, and Zepbound for only $3 a day. All from futurehealth.com. These meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Plus, the best part? You don't need insurance or have to go to a doctor's office. Just a quick, easy process, all online. Get the best results at the best price with Future Health. Take the 3-minute quiz at futurehealth.com, get approved, and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. That's futurehealth.com. Future without the E. Future health, weight loss. Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Tariffs and your money? Well, we just offered our thoughts on the most recent episode of the How to Money podcast.
Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great, but don't invest those dollars once you put them in.
We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right, you want that tax-advantaged money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial.
In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Tomorrow, 2 o'clock on the John Cobelt Show, the mayor of Lancaster, Rex Parris, is coming on. His solution for homelessness, give them free fentanyl. Yeah, Rex Parris, mayor of Lancaster, tomorrow at 2 on the John Cobelt Show.
KFI AM 640.
I mean, that's what I want to do.
Do what?
I want to give them free fentanyl. You know?
I can't understand what you're saying. You wanted to get them what?
I want to give them all the fentanyl they want.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Let's talk about Sebastian Stan real quick. Sebastian Stan, you know, that's the actor who plays Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I did not know, Tuwala, that he's actually Romanian, as in born in Romania.
Wait, what?
He's Romanian. The Romanian-born actor. I did not know that.
Wow.
I didn't know that. And it probably explains, yes, I know Romanians don't speak Russian, but I'm saying it probably explains why his Russian pronunciation was so good. Yeah. Okay. It's much more believable. I mean, if you're from an Eastern Bloc country, you probably heard some Russian. You know, you probably can pronounce it better than most.
I always assumed that Stan was a shortened version of some European name.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. It's got a ski at the end of it for sure.
Maybe. I just thought it was a stage name of some sort, but who knows with actors today. But someone will look it up and tell me, like Mark or Tuwala.
It's not on Wikipedia. I don't know what it is.
Stanilopoulos.
That would be Greek.
Well, yeah.
Keep trying.
Okay.
But anyhow, Sebastian Stan, and I didn't remember him from the movie Hot Tub Time Machine. Do you? I like that movie. I just don't remember him. I remember William Zabka more than I do Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, I don't remember him in it at all. I love that movie.
I did too. Now, there was a lot wrong with it. The fact that they had a brother with a high top fade and the movie was set in 1986, that was incorrect. They did not have the high top fade in 1986.
You got to hire a consultant for that stuff.
Well, you should. I'm being serious because people who lived through that time remember that time. There were some things they just got wrong, but I still think fondly about the movie. I mentioned Hot Tub Time Machine because Sebastian Stan, who was in that 2010 movie, he credits that movie with keeping his career alive and keeping him afloat personally. Quote, I was actually struggling with work, and this is in a conversation with Vanity Fair. I had just gotten off the phone with my business manager who told me I was saved by $65,000 that came in residuals from Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm thinking if not for Hot Tub Time Machine, Sebastian Stan may have given up on acting.
We wouldn't have the coolest Winter Soldier possible.
Absolutely. He may have gone on to do something else in life. And people, I think, forget how difficult it is to make it in Hollywood as an actor. It's not just, you do a movie and it's rainbows and roses after that. You have Sebastian Stan, who was working relatively consistently, but could not stay afloat. He was in a major motion picture, Hot Tub Time Machine. He was able to bring in $65,000 in residuals, which meant that he had at least had that much in his actual appearance in Hot Tub Time Machine.
Right.
So he made a little money, but the money doesn't last forever. You still have to keep working. And it wasn't, if this was 2010, The Winter Soldier came out in 2014. And I don't know if he had any credits in between, but that's a long time in between, I'm sure.
Those Marvel movies have saved more than one career. I saw an interview with Paul Bettany talking about how he was sitting on a curb thinking his career was done before he got the part of the Vision.
Yeah, don't forget about Robert Downey Jr. And there are a lot of people who have been saved and resurrected by Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian Stan's, according to research here, Sebastian Stan's real name is indeed Sebastian Stan.
I'm not buying it.
No middle name, as in Romania, many individuals are born with no middle name.
My wife doesn't have a middle name. Does that mean she was born in Romania?
It's
probably.
That's the reason.
Probably. Or maybe there's some Romanian ancestry that's, in her lineage.
Who knows? Who knows? Now, it makes me want to see Hot Tub Time Machine, but look at the people who are in Hot Tub Time Machine. They are all relatively known or working actors. John Cusack, Craig Robinson, Clark Duke. You would know him at least by face, but arguably Sebastian Stan is the most successful of all of them at this point. You think about his
Craig
recent
Robinson, he keeps the check going.
No, he keeps the check going, but Sebastian Stan was just recently nominated for an Oscar.
Oh,
There's levels to this, as the kids say. Yeah.
Did John Cusack ever win?
Come on now. Come on now. I like John Cusack, but come on now.
Stop it.
He's good.
And he is leading the Thunderbolts film. He is the main person in that film. Sebastian Stan is keeping a check. Mark, don't forget Sunday. Thunderbolts.
That's this Sunday?
It's Guy's Afternoon Out.
Wait a second. What time?
It's
we're going to eat beforehand, right?
Like during the day?
Yes, it's during the day. Yes.
It's your morning, our day.
Mark, you have not forgotten, sir. I promise you have not forgotten this.
Oh no, I have not forgotten about
You don't want the
this
free
thing
food
that we're going to be doing.
That I'm giving?
Because the movie is Sunday at 4:15, so we can have a nice lunch beforehand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going out for sushi.
Wouldn't you rather eat afterward in the evening?
You can do both. I'm just saying I'm treating beforehand.
I see. Okay.
Now, what you do at 7 o'clock or whatever when the movie's over, that's on you.
I'm looking forward to this event that we have scheduled in advance.
You just forgot.
Way in advance.
Totally forgot.
Way in advance.
You're not doing anything else. Don't even try it.
Okay.
He's gonna try to pull something. He's gonna try to pull something.
Yeah.
Oh, coming down with something.
Yeah, he's gonna pull out or something like that.
Come on, Mark. You gotta stay in.
I'll be there.
You gotta stay in for the long shot.
I'll be in.
Okay.
It's later with Mo Kelly. We're going to talk about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're no longer nominees. The inducted class has been announced. That's coming up, as well as your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. You know, maybe we should do it right now, or should we have them wait?
Hey, look, your druthers.
We'll have them right now. We'll have them wait. No, we'll have them wait right now.
What?
Or we could do it later.
Wait, which
or
is
do
it?
Right now. We'll have them wait.
In the name of God, which is it?
KFI AM 640, later with Mo Kelly, live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. Mark Ronald with the news.
Okay, so not now. Not right.
Not now.
Thank you. A hunger strike at Occidental College is going into its second week. 10 students are protesting the school's ties to weapons makers linked to Israel as the war in Gaza continues. They're also demanding more protections for international students facing visa threats. The college president says some reforms are already in place, but the college won't commit to divestment. San Clemente Mayor Steve Knobloch is announcing progress in discussions with Border Patrol to monitor cameras along the shoreline in Orange County.
The initiative aims to enhance security and address concerns about illegal activities, including undocumented immigration and human trafficking. The mayor emphasized the importance of collaboration between local authorities and federal agencies and says the cameras will be available not only to Border Patrol but the Maritime Coordination Center in Long Beach as well. Next, the city plans to finalize cost proposals for the camera monitoring system to ensure coastal safety that fits into state and local budgets. John Fink, KFI News.
A new poll shows President Trump has the lowest 100-day job approval rating of any president in the last 80 years. The ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll shows just 39% of Americans say they approve of his work. Gary Langer with Langer Research Associates, who produced the poll, says 55% of people disapprove.
It beats the record low at 100 days set by Donald Trump in 2017. He gets criticism on many issues, but perhaps his prime challenge is economic discontent.
Tomorrow is Trump's 100th day in office, and lawyers and advocacy groups claim the Trump administration has deported children who are U.S. citizens to Honduras, including a 4-year-old with cancer. But Border Czar Tom Homan says mothers can choose to take their kids with them when they're deported.
This was a parental decision, parenting 101. The mothers made that choice. And I tell you what, if we didn't do it, the story today would be Trump administration separating families again.
He says having a U.S. citizen child doesn't make you immune from the laws. Southland weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight with lows in the low 50s, 40 in the AV and IE. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 70s, upper 70s in the valleys, IE and AV, and upper 60s at the beaches. And it should be about the same all the rest of this week. Right now it's 58 in Burbank, 59 in Orange, and we got a stall on the 91 in Long Beach.
That's heading westbound just before Atlantic. It's in the second lane from the left, so it's causing some slowing backed up to about Paramount Boulevard. Making your way on the 105, heading eastbound in Hawthorne, we have a work zone from the 405 to Crenshaw. That has the 3 left lanes off limits, so you'll see traffic backed up to the 405. That's set to end at 6 a.m. And if you're on the 22 eastbound in Westminster from Valley View to Brookhurst, the carpool and left lane are closed off until 6 in the morning. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-377-9234. 800-377-9234. 800-377-9234.
As you have now heard, the hantavirus caused by the urine and feces of rodents can lead to serious illness and even death.
If you suspect you have a rodent issue, call the experts at Rodent Stop. For a one-time fee, Rodent Stop will identify and seal all rodent entry points, trap and remove all rodents, sanitize your attic to remove any nasty viruses, and we even remove and replace all rodent-infested attic insulation. Rodent Stop is so confident that they can stop your rodent problems that they also back up their work with a lifetime guarantee. If you hear the pitter-patter of little feet in your attic, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343. We're dedicated to providing fast, friendly, and effective rodent control solutions throughout Southern California. Plus, our technicians are clean, friendly, and always on time. If you've got rodents, call Rodent Stop for a free inspection at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343.
Do you want to sell a house, but it needs a lot of work? Want to avoid the hassles of putting it on the market and waiting for an offer? Tired of cash buyers promising the world only to reduce your price along the way? Wedgwood Homes is firm on their offer and actively buying homes for nearly 40 years. Wedgwood Homes has no fees, no agent commissions, no listing contracts, and can close in as little as 3 days. Whether you are selling as is, tough rental properties, inherited a home, just financially stressed right now, or want to skip a traditional listing, make your next move with Wedgwood Homes. You can count on a Wedgwood Homes offer. We help turn your home or property into cash. It's easy. No repairs, no cleanings, no showings. And unlike other cash buyers who negotiate after you've signed, our offer is firm. Call now for a no-obligation all-cash offer from Wedgwood Homes. 800-307-2010. Southern California's trusted home buyer. 800-307-2010. 800-307-2010 or wedgwoodhomes.com.
KFI, Los Angeles, broadcasting with 50,000 watts of power, 640 kilowatts.
Remember when you used to have a radio to listen to KFI? KFI is on the iHeartRadio app and brings you digital sound. If you haven't heard KFI on the free iHeartRadio app, you haven't heard KFI. AM 640, more stimulating talk.
Live on YouTube right now. Make sure you subscribe. It makes it easier to find the show when you subscribe. I don't get anything out of it when you subscribe. I'm saying this is for you. When you subscribe, it pops right up. You know which link to hit, so you're not hitting an older show. Like my mother would say, I don't know which show it is. Subscribe, mommy. Yes, I call my mother mommy. She'll be mommy for the rest of my life or hers, whichever ends first. Don't want to be morbid, just being serious. She's mommy for life. My father was daddy for life. So I was having a conversation with my mother. I said, Mommy, what you need to do, you got to subscribe. And when you subscribe, it makes it real easy to find the live link. So that's why I say to you, just go ahead and subscribe. If you want to hang out with us each and every night and hang out in the chat, which is off the chains, make it easy for yourself. Just put it right there. And if you should miss a show, here's another reason why you should subscribe. You'll be able to find any missed episode real easy. Real easy. We date the shows now. So you'll know which show we heard. We listened to you. You were complaining. You were talking out the side of your mouth, talking all slick. Talking about why is it you don't date the shows? Okay, we've dated the shows. You got no more excuses. All right. We've had a nice influx of new subscribers. But to make it easier on you, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly. We talked about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the nominee class, some months ago when it was just announced. You had first-time nominees like Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Bad Company. Well, they are going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Also, Cyndi Lauper. Also, and this is going to really piss off Mark Ronner, rap pioneers, Outkast.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Rock duo, The White Stripes. Yep.
Yep.
And grunge masters, Soundgarden. Yes. Yes. Look, you could play Black Hole Sun at my funeral. That's one of my favorites.
It's a dirge, so you might as well.
Well, look,
a dirge.
It is a dirge.
How dare you?
Stop using words we don't know the meanings of.
You don't know the meaning of dirge. Well, it's what they play at funerals.
Okay.
That does not qualify.
So he's supporting you.
I guess so. I just don't trust anything he says.
Nor should you.
Also, you know who was also inducted? Salt and Pepper.
congratulations to Dee Dee Roper, Spinderella.
You know them. I mean,
Yes.
you know them.
Yes.
I've met them on a couple occasions, but you know them.
Spin is my ace. Love Spinderella, and that brought me nothing but joy for them to not only be nominated and that they will be going in, but that it seems to have healed old wounds and they are coming together again as a group. There was a lot of strife, acrimony, public, and they've all been very public about it. So this isn't me spreading rumors. They've all been very, very public about it. But this has made them look back and say, you know what, y'all? We need to come together because we're better together than we are apart. So I will absolutely be tuning in to see them get their flowers.
There are other folks, get Musical Influence Award and Musical Excellence Award, but just talking about the main inductees, I think they're all absolutely deserving. And I always have to put this disclaimer out there because people don't know what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is.
Mark Ronner.
Yes. It's not for the rock genre.
Mark Ronner.
It's just called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Are we
In other words, it's meaningless, is what you're saying.
No,
it's completely meaningless.
No.
What are you going through? Why do you hate
just
music?
Think of it as like the Music Hall of Fame, okay? They just call it the Rock Hall of Fame, which is more about counterculture than it is the music genre.
The Corporate Success Hall of Fame. Okay.
No, it's definitely not corporate success because there are a lot of people who are missing from this Rock Hall, let me tell you. But every single year, I have someone who will email me, tweet me when I was on Twitter, hit me on Instagram, say, I don't understand how you can say that Salt and Pepper deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They do rap music. They don't do.
Mark Ronner says these things.
I know. And I always have the same answer. Why don't you go tell me who was on the first inductee list? Names like Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, James Brown. It's not rock and roll. It's counterculture. It's not a rock genre. And I'll have to have the same freaking conversation next year because people like Mark Ronner over there who are insistent on making this about the rock genre. And I love me some rock music, but it doesn't apply to the Hall of Fame.
Look at this face he's making.
It's inclusive of rock music and rock artists.
So I guess we can expect Enya sometime soon, huh?
Maybe if
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Alanis Morissette. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, Beach Boys.
Maybe some Bing Crosby.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Beach Boys isn't in?
I don't know. I don't think they are.
Oh.
Let's look it up.
They
I
deserve
don't.
it.
Travesty.
They absolutely deserve
I
it.
don't think they're in.
Based on the qualifications, the Beach Boys absolutely should be in. But,
Beach Boys Rock Hall of Fame. Oh, they were inducted in 1988. I'm correct.
What about whoever composed the Muzak on the speakers at Kmart? Is he going to get inducted?
That could be under Musical Influence Award. I'm being serious.
Okay.
Could.
Damn it, Mark.
That's influence. Look, you'll never walk into the Kmart the same way if they were still open.
Uh-huh.
Any other smart-ass remarks?
No, this makes perfect sense, and I'm glad you brought it to my attention.
All right.
You're tripping. You are.
Can we go to break now? Are you composed enough after making all of your jokes?
No jokes here. This is serious business, and you're doing a valuable public service.
You want a laugh track to go along with it?
No.
You sure? You positive? Give me another joke, Mark, before we go to break.
No. Who else is going to be on the list, do you think?
Where's that coming from? Who's that?
Kmart Music.
Oh! This music was coming out of nowhere. Where the hell is that? Is that
Yeah, this slaps. Yeah, this is a shoe-in.
It actually is kind of funky.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done and I make sure it's broke.
This is it.
Can we get some yacht rock into the Hall of Fame too? Because I like that.
Actually, there is some yacht rock. I just don't know all the artists. Let me see.
Right on, man.
Christopher Cross.
Yes.
Rock Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
While he's looking that up, The introduction criteria, Mark, is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has a significant criteria, including significant impact and influence on rock and roll music, i.e., all music.
Oh yeah, you know who's missing is New Shoes. They had that "I Can't Wait" song. That they should be in there. Yeah, New Shoes. We got to start a petition.
Yeah, I'd put him in. One hit wonder.
You certainly would.
How about Jane Child? Do you remember her?
I do. I always wanted to tug that chain from her nose to her ear.
You do remember her? No, she was a Prince find, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, Prince discovered her.
That explains it.
Yep. I Don't Want to Fall in Love, her only hit.
That explains it.
It's later with Mo Kelly. We're going to check in with George Norrie, and also I have my final thought. We're live everywhere on YouTube. Please subscribe for your own good, not mine, so you can find the show whenever you want. And we're also live on the iHeartRadio app. Mark Bronner with the news.
Here's the latest from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Expanded weapons screening on Metro, and the Liberals have won in Canada. Those stories at the top of the hour. Right now, we got cones on the 5 in Commerce.
That's heading southbound from Washington Boulevard to Slauson. The left lane's off limits there for road work, set to end at 5 a.m. Watch for slowing from Atlantic. And the northbound side of the 5 in East LA, just before Dittman, we got a stall there that's stuck in the second lane from the left, causing some stop-and-go traffic from the 710. And a work zone on the 22 westbound in Garden Grove. That's from Magnolia to Knott Avenue. The carpool and left lane coned off there, scheduled to end at 5 in the morning. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Pedro Moreno.
This report is sponsored by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Celebrate the culture and traditions of Mexico at Dodger Stadium on May 20th for Mexican Heritage Night versus the D-backs. Purchase a special ticket package and receive an exclusive Mexican Night jersey presented by Hornitos. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Yes, we made a mistake. And then, no, we didn't make a mistake. And Trump doesn't care. He just says, too bad.
Bill Handel.
And what's the court going to do? There's no court police.
Tomorrow morning, 6 to 9 on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
This is CEOs You Should Know.
I'm Jeff Thomas, Executive Vice President at iHeartMedia in Los Angeles, and today's guest is Ishan Patel, founder and CEO of Audion Hearing. So how do you get into the hearing aid business? Because you are not of the age where you would need a hearing aid.
I actually grew up, my grandfather has pretty significant hearing loss. So I grew up experiencing hearing loss every day in the household. And what people don't realize is that it completely ruins your ability to have a relationship with that individual. There was a huge need that needed to be filled. 80% of people with hearing loss do not wear a hearing aid. Can you imagine? It's the third largest untreated medical condition on earth. So it was just a problem that was so big and so close to home that it felt like it was really worth trying to solve.
Listen to CEOs You Should Know on the iHeartRadio app.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, David Guetta, Meghan Trainor, and more. Wango Tango presented by Fiji Airways. May 10th, Huntington City Beach. All ticket prices go up May 2nd, so get yours now at AXS.com.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9043, 800-575-9043. That's 800-575-9043, or simply visit TRA.com.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
April 30th is Green Socks Day. Why green socks? Because they stand for growth. Financial growth, community growth, and opportunity for all.
Whether you're in the boardroom or the classroom, your socks can spark a conversation about financial literacy and opportunity for all. So on April 30th, rock your green socks, post your pics, and tag #GreenSocksDay. Visit OperationHope.org to learn more. Let's grow together.
Bad breath is no fun, and it doesn't matter who has it. You, your friends, your coworkers, your loved ones. Let me introduce you to Zellman's Minty Mouth, a tiny little capsule you swallow, clinically tested against the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. It cleans your breath in a way other mints can't. Go to Zellmans.com/KFI. You'll get a 15% discount. Take advantage of the 15%. Go to Zellmans, ZELMINS.com/KFI. Take advantage of the 15%.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, tomorrow on the Conway Show, they've run out of California license plates. Yeah, all the numbers and letters have been used up. So tomorrow after 4 p.m. on KFI, we'll tell you how they're going to solve that problem.
KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube right now. Sign up and subscribe at Mr. Mo Kelly. And we're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Coming up in just moments will be George Norrie, Coast to Coast AM. George, good evening, sir.
Mr. Kelly, we've got a classic Coast to Coast show tonight. We're talking about biblical tribulation, ancient mysteries. We've got it all on Coast to Coast and KFI.
I absolutely love it. I'll be listening on my way home. And speaking of my way home, before I get out of here and give you my final thought, I still got to give you away this last pair of tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, which will be in Irwindale. It's going on right now through May 18th. And since its inception, more than 5 million people from around the world have visited Southern California's Renaissance Pleasure Fair, averaging approximately 20,000 people each weekend. Now, the tickets we're giving out right now are good through May 11th. So let's open up the phones and caller number 7. If you're caller number 7, you and a guest will be going to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. 800-520-1KFI, 800-520-1534. Caller number 7, you and a guest will be going to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair on us. 800-520-1534. Caller number 7. And the tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair will be yours. And let me get to this final thought. And it's connected to a conversation I had with Jackie Rae during Beyond the Box Score. And it's something we've touched upon before, but we have to update it. I don't like when people want to have it both ways. Supposedly, you're about principle, you have strong beliefs, but a lot of times you want it both ways. You want, as they say, your cake and eat it as well. I don't like when someone wants to hold me to a standard that they themselves can't meet or have no intentions of meeting. Super Bowl MVP and Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts chose not to go to the White House with the rest of his team today as part of the White House celebration for champions. The visit was announced earlier this month, but it was never a foregone conclusion. I say that because the team opted not to visit the White House when the organization last won the Super Bowl in 2018. But today was the team celebration at the White House, and in the weeks leading up to it, Jalen Hurts and others were asked incessantly about whether they would attend. In fact, we have video of it right now on our YouTube channel. But this is not the players inviting the scrutiny. This is the media asking them over and over again, are you going to go? If not, why? What are the reasons why you would or would not go? And that has influenced our expectations, both positive and negative. But it's not something the players have encouraged. Not Jalen Hurts. In fact, he's had no comment about it at any time. There are some who continue to say that players have a responsibility to show up, and they will say things like, it's about honoring the president. I've heard that again and again, honoring the president, respecting the president. Well, that's weird because it actually isn't. It's about honoring the team. The team won the championship. The team got the invite. You're celebrating the team. And it's a bit dishonest to pay more attention to Jalen Hurts not attending, who said nothing. as opposed to a player like Freddie Freeman for the Dodgers, who also didn't show up, supposedly because he was injured. I think he played the next night, so I guess he felt better. Are we supposed to believe the Freeman injury excuse, but not Jalen Hurts? Because in a media sense, there was far more focus on Jalen Hurts for whatever reasons. But again, this is why we need to do away with the tradition. I have been consistent. Do away with it. It's not about siding. It's about ending. It no longer holds the same perception. Traditions do come and go. Just this past weekend, for example, the White House Correspondents' Dinner went without a comedian. That broke tradition. That too was done because the politics of the day just couldn't be overcome. It's just not the same anymore. And another tradition, the president used to attend that event. Donald Trump broke that tradition during his first term as president. My point is, traditions come and they go. My point is, it's been done. Traditions are not forever. You don't have to continue traditions which are either out of step with the times or put those connected to the tradition in uncomfortable or impossible situations. I do remember telling you about musicians and performers who've received considerable pushback for performing for the Trump inauguration, including artists like Snoop Dogg. It wasn't always like this, but it's like this now, like it or not. For as much as we talk about free speech, and this goes back to principles and having it both ways, we got to be mindful that free speech, it's a conversation. It's not just a monologue. You have your say, I have my say, athletes have their say, the president has his say. But like I said at the top, we can't have it both ways. Sports has always included politics, always, from Jesse Owens at the Olympics, to Muhammad Ali, to Tommy Smith and John Carlos. Oh, you probably don't know who they were. You better Google them. To Jackie Robinson, to Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. The list is endless. Regardless of decade, politics have been part of the sports landscape. But we've never had a time in which a president was so actively involved in political dialogue surrounding sports in so many ways. It's just different now. Nonetheless, we can't have it both ways. If the expectation, and I'm coming home, if the expectation is that athletes are to all visit the White House when invited, then there should be equal emphasis on the president staying out of sports commentary, which would include trans people in sports. You thought I forgot. Can't have it both ways. Be angry at both or be angry at neither. But you got to make a choice. Otherwise, principles don't matter. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
If you missed it, we got it.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
County workers hit the bricks. I'm Mark Ronner, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Thousands of LA County workers have walked off the job tonight.
And the strike could potentially disrupt key services. SEIU Local 721, representing 55,000 frontline employees, says the walkout is over unfair labor practices, wage stagnation, and excessive outsourcing. County officials warn of possible delays in healthcare, social services, and public works through Wednesday evening. Union leaders accuse the county of spending billions on contractors while ignoring worker pay and staffing shortages. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
LA Metro's expanded its weapons screening technology to include the Norwalk station on the C line. Metro Board Chair and LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn says her plan for the transit agency is simple.
A metro system where all of our riders feel safe, feel respected, and confident that they'll get to their destination without fear.
The technology looks for concealed weapons before passengers can enter the train. The pilot program was introduced last year at Union Station after multiple violent attacks on the system, including murder. The LA County Sheriff's Department is trying to remind drivers to pull over when they hear sirens.
The campaign, called Emergency Lights Pull to the Right, is an effort by the LA County Sheriff's Department to educate drivers about the law. Too often, drivers ignore emergency vehicles with lights and sirens going. Sheriff Robert Luna says it seems drivers don't know what to do.
KFI's Jim Roop says getting out of the way could be the difference between life or death. Russia has announced a temporary ceasefire for the next 3 months. We have a little copy issue here. Let me start over again. Russia has announced a temporary ceasefire for 3 days next month in the war with Ukraine. There we go. I knew we'd get it. It's to mark the 80th anniversary of V-Day, the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany. But former Defense Department official Mick Mulroy says he's skeptical the move is a genuine move for peace.
This is best characterized as a tactical pause from the Russian perspective. That gives them the ability to rearm and refit, and in this case, have their parade.
He says the U.S. is pushing for a 30-day ceasefire because that's what's necessary to actually have negotiations and end the war. The Vatican has announced a date for the conclave to elect a successor to Pope Francis. ABC's James Longman says it'll begin Wednesday, May 7th.
This is when 135 cardinals who are eligible to vote will be deciding on who is the next pope. This is following, of course, the death of Pope Francis. Thousands have already been to pay their respects. The line goes all the way around the building here.
Tens of thousands of people have already visited Pope Francis's tomb. And Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party has won Canada's federal election in a huge turnaround fueled by President Trump's annexation threats and trade war. The Liberals are projected to win more of Parliament's 343 seats than the Conservatives, though it's not clear yet if they'll win an outright majority which would empower them to pass legislation without needing help. The Liberals appeared headed for a defeat until Trump attacked Canada's economy and threatened its sovereignty, saying it should become the 51st state. That infuriated Canadians and stoked a surge in nationalism that helped the Liberals win a fourth straight term in power. Southline weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight with lows in the low 50s, 40 in the AV and IE. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 70s, upper 70s in the valleys, IE and AV, and upper 60s at the beaches. Not much change for the rest of the week. Right now it's 57 in Brea, 58 in San Clemente, 58 in Koreatown, 56 in Agora Hills. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Mark Ronner.
This report is sponsored by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Celebrate the culture and traditions of Mexico at Dodger Stadium on May 20th for Mexican Heritage Night versus the D-backs. Purchase a special ticket package and receive an exclusive Mexican night jersey presented by Hornitos. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
As you have now heard, the hantavirus caused by the urine and feces of rodents can lead to serious illness and even death. If you suspect you have a rodent issue, call the experts at Rodent Stop. For a one-time fee, Rodent Stop will identify and seal all rodent entry points, trap and remove all rodents, sanitize your attic to remove any nasty viruses, and we even remove and replace all rodent-infested attic insulation. Rodent Stop is so confident that they can stop your rodent problems that they also back up their work with a lifetime guarantee. If you hear the pitter-patter of little feet in your attic, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343. We're dedicated to providing fast, friendly, and effective rodent control solutions throughout Southern California. Plus, our technicians are clean, friendly, and always on time. If you've got rodents, call Rodent Stop for a free inspection at 800-290-5343.